right. Hey, it was good, Six. I'm crying. All right. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Let me post into live. 13D level. What the fuck is going on in what the fuck is going on the Discord? All right. How's everybody doing? So, uh let's get this started. We're gonna wait until people start to join in the stream so we could just talk here for a little bit. Today I want to have a couple of I'm happy to hear that, Skull. Today I'm gonna have a couple of debates, or well, not me specifically, but I'll have like one or two debates with the Discord members, and I'll also be down to hear some of their hot takes. Hey, what's up, Carlos? We're gonna start up the Discord. I'll be waiting in chat, and hopefully we get through something easy, something nice. Hey, what's up, Aster? No, I haven't done that yet. I spent all day yesterday playing Monster Hunter, and by the time I saw the comment and the reply, I was like, that was actually like a little over an hour ago. um, Monster Hunter's been fun, man. Monster Hunter has been so much fucking fun, dude. Monster Hunter, I don't know, man. Like, I soloed the entire low rank story yesterday. I was having so much fun with it. It was a blast. It was a blast. Zoshia, the final boss was so fucking cool, dude. Oh man, I can't wait to I can't wait to get through all this content that I need to get through first, so I can start like doing some Monster Hunter and some other verses and stuff. I might end up like just throwing Sonic in there. I'll at least like do like what it means to fight like certain characters depending on like their game series and stuff like that. Maybe like specific games, not so much like entire game series, because that's a lot. It's a lot of like recording I'd have to do. Uh, but yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys have had a good weekend. We'll be having fun. Hopefully we can have some fun today. Oh man. Also, Monster Hunter is one of those series that's consistently good. I agree with that. What's up, One Smart? I agree with that. Well, no, I don't know if I would entirely agree with that. From my understanding, the early versions of the games, like the Monster Hunter, the OG Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter Dos, Tri, and Four, they're like the old gen of Monster Hunter is definitely something that I feel like it takes a lot of getting used to. The movements feel clunky in my opinion, and it genuinely surprises me how much quality of life a series like Monster Hunter needed in comparison to where it started. Because if any of you have ever like gone all the way back to like the first and second generation of Monster Hunter, what the fuck, bro? If you played anything new gen and you go back to those games, bro. Oh man, it is a slog. All right, Lapis. Let me know if you want to go first for like the debates, Lapis. Have you ever seen the video Pain telling the truth about Shanks to Naruto? I haven't. I haven't. That sounds really interesting. Is Monster Hunter really that good? It's a fun series, but so let me give you a bit of context. I started Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter World. My one of my friends, he said he was getting the game. He put on all the other boys onto it. So I was like, you know what? Let me cop it. I hated fucking World. Can't. I'm gonna card my mom. Okay, Lapis, all good. Um, it is. I have a question about how to debunk scans that say characters have infinite physical ability and such when the series shows no such thing, even if they say the character is holding back. One of the funniest videos you've ever seen. We'll check it out in a bit. We'll check it out in a bit, Aster. So the question. So what's like exactly the question? Characters have infinite. They have scans that say they have infinite physical abilities. Can you give me an example of this? Because maybe if I have some context, I can at least like give you a possible. I can maybe give you like a possible line of logic that you can follow when you're debating these points. But yeah, so I started back in Monster Hunter World. It's the highest selling Capcom game of all time. It's a really good. Okay, let me say this. It is a good game in most regards, but there are issues with the game that I feel like even people that love it to this day have. I feel like even they would agree that things like running around the massive overworld and the massive maps that they have, the hub world being as big as it is, and one having to like go up and down these like giant staircases just to get from one point to another. It's not necessarily fun. It's a lot of backtracking, so to speak. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine that also started in World, and we were just both talking about how annoying it was that the worlds are so massive. There's no easy way to fast travel through Monster Hunter World, and the problem with that then is that, how do I put this? You lose a lot of time in hunts. So usually hunts, especially once you get to like the higher ranks, specifically end game and what have you, they take a while. They'll sometimes give you 50 minutes. They'll sometimes give you 40. Some missions are crazy and they'll give you like 20 minutes. Hey, what's up, cuz? Takamura from Sakamoto Days is stated to have infinite physical ability, shooting, martial arts, even though the series shows there's no such thing with the top of the top tiers. Well, physical ability can be in a lot of things, right? So when you're talking about a character in Sakamoto Days, even a series that's, I don't want to say as weak as Sakamoto Days, because I wouldn't necessarily say that they're weak. I don't really like even calling series in general weak. I'd more or less just like to say that like verses that have like lower scaling in general, it's kind of easy to already say that like, okay, well, it's not necessarily possible that they're like infinitely strong or infinitely fast. Physical abilities can mean a lot of things, and in some cases physical abilities can even mean like things that you are capable of doing. So in reference to like what you mentioned right there, shooting, martial arts, etc., I assume that infinite physical abilities just means that when it comes to the act of performing physical activities, the character essentially has like no end to what they have prowess in. In other words, they're good at shooting, they're good at martial arts, archery, they're good at climbing, they're good at stealth, they're good at things that require physical abilities for one to do. You know what I mean? I feel like Diddy versus Kaido is crazy. What you debating about today? I don't think I'm debating. I'm gonna have my members in my Discord put up some debates that they want to do, and we could just talk. Scaling is relative. Naruto is leagues above Demon Slayer, but leagues below Dragon Ball. 100% true. I see exactly. I 100% agree with Lapis. It's all relative to whatever series that you're trying to like, let's say, compare it to. I personally say don't compare series when you're doing scaling, or unless you are doing versus battles. The reason why I say this, and we've talked about this before, but the reason is, if you look at a series, if you're reading a series like Kaiju number 8, if you're reading a series like Sakamoto Days or Demon Slayer, etc., but you're going into the scaling, you're trying to interpret everything with the context of another series like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, I don't know, Saint Seiya, right? If you're comparing these series to like, let's say, yeah, like for best example is Dragon Ball. Yeah, sure, the characters can't do jack shit. Any series, even One Piece and Naruto, even fucking Bleach, they all look like absolute fodder pee pee poo poo babies. Because guess what? You're not comparing them to Dragon Ball. We're not comparing them to guys that can just punch away the fucking universe and macrocosms and shit. No, you're comparing them to essentially the exact extent of a coughing baby versus a hydrogen bomb, right? It's not fun at that point. I think that when one is scaling, they should look at the series within the context of its own story and its own narrative. You shouldn't be looking at a series and saying, "Oh, well, I'm reading through Naruto and they're so much fucking weaker than Bleach." Like, oh, by this chapter, Ichigo was already cutting up hollows with his normal slash because Getsuga Tensho's dog shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, wait. My friend keeps saying Takamura is holding back to that level of power, but it just doesn't make sense. I always misread this thumbnail as Naruto saying you're based. True. Okay. Let's see. My friend says that he's just holding back that level of power. He always says it's my burden of proof to prove it's a hyperbole. Well, not necessarily. It's his. So the burden of proof. I hate when people say, "Oh, it's the burden of proof is on you," because I feel like the burden of proof is if anything on both of you. What the point I'm trying to make is, for example, I say, or for example, your friend says Takamura is just holding back that level of power. He clearly has like these infinite physical capabilities or whatever. So then it's. The burden of proof is on him to prove that, yeah, no, this is factually true. Now, given the context of Sakamoto Days and how it's still ongoing, I assume that it's not possible to prove it yet. So one could make the so for in your case, you just have to say, I don't have to prove anything because there's nothing to prove in general. He has no feats to make this clear. You're going off of a single statement. The argument, while it does have a piece of evidence, is not entirely sound because there's nothing to back this up. At best, it is just hearsay, and at worst, it's just a hyperbolic statement. You know what I mean? The burden of proof can usually be applied to both sides, because I constantly see things like people saying, just to give you an example, what's a good one? Gazelle Man only runs at 200 miles an hour. The One Piece verse isn't light speed. It's the burden of proof is on you to prove that they are light speed. Well, no. I've already presented all the proof that I need to show that the One Piece verse is light speed. The burden of proof is on you to essentially scale the entire series to below 200 miles an hour. That's not on me. Well, I only have cold takes like Mihawk Solo Shanks, Rogers, Whitebeard, and Emu with a butter knife. Crazy. Luffy could solo DBZ verse with Gum Gum Branch. That's crazy. I hate when people say characters below planetary are weak. Yeah, no, getting characters below planetary is fucking insane. What do you think about people reading for power scaling versus reading from a narrative perspective? You kind of have to you can't really read for power scaling without attempting to read for the narrative. I firmly believe that there's this thing called the Trinity of power scaling, or at least that's what I like to call it, where statements, feats, and narrative. I get it. For some people, a statement doesn't mean nothing if there's a feat. Narrative is subjective. It doesn't really mean anything. Feats are the only thing that matter because it's the only thing that's probably shown. I think that all of those interpretations, while I can't necessarily say that like, oh, people are objectively wrong for thinking that way, I do think that it is kind of disingenuous to say that like, okay, if you don't account for feat, statements, and narrative as a whole, then just to like go off of a single piece of evidence, like they say just a feat, just a statement, just the narrative, I feel like it makes your arguments a lot weaker. At least in my opinion, one should strive to essentially have all 3 points back up their argument. I'll bring this up like always. Naruto versus Jiraiya from the Pain arc, right? The narrative is Naruto had to surpass Jiraiya. He had to surpass his former teacher by mastering a jutsu that he couldn't master, a transformation that he couldn't master, and at the same time, he also had to defeat the villain that defeated his master, right? The feats, Naruto beat Pain. Yeah, he had a bunch of help. Yeah, a bunch of things came in, but the fact is Naruto beat Pain. He fought him. He did better than anybody else in the Leaf could have done at the time, except maybe Might Guy. And the statements. I'm pretty sure I have to like reread through the prior portions of the at least like the in-between portions of like Jiraiya dying and Naruto fighting Pain. But it would basically like, oh yeah, Naruto has to surpass Jiraiya. He has to surpass his former teacher. So, I'm not debating viewers. Hey, what's up, Dia? And more so, we're just talking right now. Let me finish. It's why I lump SU and One Piece together, because the scale pretty close to each other, so weak versus strong becomes irrelevant. That's a fair point. There's a fair way of putting it, Lapis. Gum Gum Branch was so OP, I had to take it out of the franchise. Every time Mihawk fights a stronger opponent, he runs away and goes back to fighting East Blue Fodder. That's crazy. Hey, what's up, Space? I don't like when people use narrative for power scaling. You can only use it to an extent, but I would say that narrative is more or less just a supporting piece of evidence more than it is like an entire argument, right? Because the narrative essentially cannot be subjective. The narrative has to be virtually objective because it has to be the author's intent. The narrative isn't, oh, what do I think the author's trying to convey? It's what is the author literally trying to convey? What is the author trying to say here by Luffy defeating someone like Kaido, or Naruto surpassing Jiraiya, Minato, and all of his other predecessors? What is, like, Naruto... I'll keep it in mind and bribe the judge for when me and my friend debate Luffy versus Takamura. That's crazy, bruh. If you somehow lose Luffy versus Takamura, I'll lose my mind. Fuck. I think the narrative can show relativity. Really? Okay. Okay. So, for those of you that want to do the Discord thing, for those of you that want to hop in with me on Discord and, give me your crazy wild takes, give me any kind of your scaling. Oh, shit, Yo Sabo, thank you for the 3 months, man. I really appreciate you. Daily reminder, sad Debo is Yonko level easily. Save it for the takes, Sick. Save it for the takes. Let me grab my headphones so I can hear you guys, and we can start this. Oh, yeah, Monster Hunter. I was talking about that before. So, Monster Hunter World, well, like, you do think it's like... Well, I do think, okay, beyond my own personal feelings, it is a good game. I think it's like my least favorite of the Monster Hunter games. The only old gen games I've technically played are Monster Hunter Tri Portable, because I got an English translated ROM for it. Monster Hunter Rise, which to this day is still my favorite Monster Hunter game. I'd have to play a good bit of I'd have to still play like a good bit of Wilds in order to change that opinion, but Wilds is definitely like a very close second. Wild is so good. Can I ask where it's stated that Law can damage the soul? Law specifically has an attack, Aster, called... Well, specifically it goes into his Karoom, which is his awakened devil fruit. Shock Vil, I think it literally translates to like shock will, or shock like soul, and it essentially pierces your body like the prick of a pin, but he can literally attack the soul. If his sword pierces through your body, he can, again, quite literally send a massive shockwave into your soul. Man, just finished, watched the most recent Death Battle episode. Really? What was the most recent one? Wasn't it Asura versus what's his face? Kratos? Wasn't it that one? Law literally switched all the personalities of the Straights. Oh yeah, he can also switch people's like bodies, like there's personalities of their souls from one another. According to my friend, that's low outer. That doesn't make any sense, and again, just going off of a single piece of evidence does not just automatically mean it. Well, okay, let me not say that. If you can have at least a single piece of evidence to support, let's say, like a minor point, then I'm sure like it's viable, but to make an entire scale for a character, especially in a verse like Sakamoto Days, and say that they scale to outer tier, I feel like is just them being disingenuous. Oh, Spawn versus Ghost Rider? I haven't seen that one yet. That was a recent Death Battle episode, Ghost Rider versus Spawn. I'm not interested in either of those two, so I probably won't watch it. I had no idea Steven Universe and One Piece verse were similar to each other in power. I wonder what verses are similar to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'd be interested in that too. I could probably figure it out if and when I do scale it. What are your thoughts on using the no limits fallacy in debate battles, i.e. Goku can't overpower Gojo's infinity regardless of the power gap? I think that's not necessarily a fair assumption to make, because if we're going at least by the context of both verses, Gojo's infinity has to be able to at least the way I've seen it, it has to be able to, in other words, interpret what exactly is approaching Gojo, be it by its mass, acceleration, and its amount of cursed energy. Now, he can't stop objects without cursed energy, but the thing right there is mass and acceleration. Even if Goku's mass doesn't change when he's accelerating to like the massive speed tiers that he does reach, the thing that you have to consider is that Goku, at least if you're going by like the context of the Dragon Ball verse, and I think that and don't quote me on this, but Guldo, I think, is an example of this, where Guldo was much weaker than Vegeta in the Namek Saga, and I don't think his powers were necessarily related to a ki ability, because in Dragon Ball Ki, you don't really get abilities from ki, they're kind of like separate things that you have. I could be wrong on this again, maybe someone like Hit has something different, but normally speaking, Guldo has the ability to like stop time, and Vegeta just straight up overpowered him. In Dragon Ball, you can straight up overpower your opponents, or like whatever abilities they have, like Hit's time skip and his time stop, just by being objectively like way stronger than them. So I don't know, if you want to apply like the concept of like verse equalization, then Goku should just walk through infinity since he's so much stronger than it. And if you're not applying verse equalization, you can always just say Goku can likely move so fast, infinity should not be able to touch him. Especially since we've seen that in Dragon Ball, they can send punches. The shockwave from Goku and Beerus's punches essentially spanned the entirety of their universe, which, if I remember right, in a data book, is scaled to be 3 times the size of ours, because the mortal world, the heavenly world, and the demon realm are all the size of a universe themselves, and they all make up the 3 layers of the universes in Dragon Ball. So if anything, it would be 3 infinite-sized realms where these shockwaves essentially crossed in moments, in mere moments, minutes, seconds, whatever you want to say. The point is, Goku should easily be able to like bypass infinity without a single issue. My thing is more or less just that like infinity is one of those cases where like the no limits fallacy kind of has to apply, because or at least it's not even, you can't really even like claim a no limits fallacy, because Gege Akutami never gave us a limit for infinity. At least within the context of JJK, we never seen a limit to it. So I don't think... Oh shit, am I really close to 9K? Cool. It makes it a bit weird, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It's like, is it really fair to call it a no limits fallacy? Because like there really isn't anything to go off of, but at the same time, I understand it is. Hey, what's up, Halo Jeff? Yes, happy Sunday and happy Ramadan to everyone. Power Rangers for 10K. Luffy versus Naruto for 10K. Power Rangers for 50K. Oh, man. Menno from Sasuke Retsudan is underrated. What has he done? I'm interested. I know you said in your Fighting Luffy video, you said that you do a 10K before the end of the year, but what can we do this year to get that century-old debate? Just get me to 10K. Just hit me to 10K and we can get that debate out of the way. If I really do hit the 10K like soon enough, then I can promise you guys that at that point I'm just, if I haven't like finished doing it at that point, I'm just not focusing on anything else, getting out of that what it means to fight Naruto video out of the way, and then I'm going to do the Naruto versus Luffy video. Essentially my content might slow down just because I'm going to essentially just work for like the next month or so to get it. I mean, Goku versus Hit proves he can break through infinity. There is a light speed meta by the end of season 1 and MFTL meta by the end of season 4. Alright, I wonder what verses are close to the Sonic franchise. Probably the Nasu verse or some crap like that. The Naruto franchise is kind of crazy depending on what like what media you're choosing to like take something from. I usually take the games as like the main continuity, just because, you know, video game character, the games are all canon, etc. But I know that like there are different stories based on the what was it, the DW comics or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, the comics would be insane though. Alright, let me get through these comments and then we'll start. I'm not gonna lie, Brook cooler than Ghost Rider. My man Brook formed and packed out entire arenas as a side hobby. Yeah, that is true. Bro, I hate when people do think that DC equates to who's stronger. Like, people who say this character is stronger because they are multi-continental and this one's only country level. Yeah, that's the problem with being a fucking JJK scaler. I have to constantly prove that, like, Sukuna slashes are greater than fucking city block level. But they don't take speed or hacks or anything into consideration. I'm sure you would find the Death Battle episode interesting. It is Mahito versus Shigaraki. No, that's interesting. They'll probably give it to Shigaraki, though. Wait, could Blackbeard's Quake bypass Gojo's Infinity? That is a good question. I don't know how Gojo's Infinity works in. I got 2 rounds of takes, so I can go twice. Don't want to take too much time away from other people. Yeah, no, for sure. Isn't the point of the no limits fallacy to say that if something doesn't prove how powerful it is, like a black hole, then it's not that powerful as said black hole, even if it supposedly has a limit? Well, from my understanding, the no limits fallacy is sort of like saying, Goku can't beat Beerus because we've never seen Beerus fight. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we don't know what Beerus's true power is, so we can't say that, you know, Goku can beat him since we've never seen it, even though there are statements, at least from some of the promotional material of Ultra Instinct, where it says Goku has finally surpassed Beerus. But it also depends on which continuity of the series you're going by, because if you're going by, like, the super manga, I don't know. New chapter of Kaiju number 8 was so peak, amazing fight at FTL plus to MFTL Kafka feeds casually. Well, again, I don't disagree with, like, Beerus being above Goku, but that, again, it depends on which continuity. Just made 2,000 fake accounts. True! Yeah. video Law versus JJK. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, Kagemaru. I can do Trafalgar Law versus all of JJK. He kind of solos. I'm not gonna lie. I'll wait on New Year's when you will ask what series you will scale, and I'll push people to vote power. You better start people to push that shit now, man. It's the reason why Giorno lost to Joker. Oh, yeah, that's true. Bonnie probably would low div JJK verse. Honestly, I noticed how Death Battle still doesn't do Naruto versus Luffy. Any version of Law likely beats all of them aside from maybe pre-time skip. I'd even say pre-time skip is a fucking problem. Mahito domain expansion? The thing about, like, domain expansion, well, versus battle, Death Battle doesn't give a fuck about verse equalization. I will pay you $50 to make Ryomen Sukuna versus Kaido video. Both are seen as the strongest. Both are hella aggressive. Listen, Skull, if you want to pay me $50 for that, I could do the video. But I'm letting you know right now, Kaido is mopping the fucking floor with Sukuna. He is grabbing him by his forearms and quite literally using him as toilet paper, bro. It's not even close. I listen, I will my king all day, but there's no fucking way I could say that he beats Kaido. Like, the best I could probably say is, like, world cutting slash bypassing Kaido's durability and cutting him right in half, but yeah, it's like, what do I say to that? It's like Kaido has observation hockey active. He just knows when the slash is coming, and it should be slower than he is. Isn't at her prime yet, so you would have seen her most impressive. Everything JJK besides maybe Sukuna and Gojo at their primes. Whitebeard can break air itself, so it's pretty much insane. Yeah, no, Whitebeard is kind of insane. Hot take, current Boruto manga is mid. I don't really think it's a hot take. Have you read the SBS 111? I have not. Dear chat, I humbly ask you to vote Power Rangers at New Year's Eve. If that happens, I will push Shanks over Mihawk. Sickens me what I wrote for a month. I don't think that's enough, man. I just want a pleasure of seeing Sukuna getting slammed for boasting about being the strongest. Sure, if you want it, listen. Sure. I think you could maybe tip that in my Ko-Fi. I'm not sure, but if you want me to make the video, I'll make the video. What you said, in fact, you said that as Sukuna Glazer saying Kaido bonks Sukuna. Yeah, I have to, man. Listen. I like to be as fair as possible. I know. listen. I know that, like, okay, for the most part, a lot of power scalers in general, especially on social media, are seeing, like, oh, I will push my favorite verse, as always. I have no, I'm not biased, I'm just saying which verse is strongest, even though we know for a fact that, like, for the most part, a lot of people, you know, they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I watched this series, but this guy definitely wins. It's like, I try to have at least a bit of integrity with, like, my takes online when it comes to, like, my videos. Some of my opinions on some of my other videos have definitely changed, but one thing I will say is that I won't say somebody wins because I want the other character to win more. You know what I mean? Or because I want them to win more. I'll say whatever decision I come down to in a video, it'll always be my genuine, honest opinion, even if I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, I fuck with Kaido, but Sukuna is my king. I will glaze that man to the ends of the earth. There's only so much I can glaze him, though, to say that he could be Kaido. There really is only so much. He gets unironically blitzed, and probably his body explodes from a single Thunder Bagua. I would have to give Sukuna every benefit of doubt. I'd have to give him all the high-end scaling possible to, like, continental, possibly planetary bullshit. Just make some BS up, and I can still get Kaido to fucking blitz in one shot. It's not even funny, man. Kaido will wipe himself with Sukuna's face. It's not even funny. On stream last night, me and Flagon have an idea in a series called Run the Grand Line. It's basically a gauntlet where we put characters through to see how far they get through One Piece. Lapis, that is an extremely interesting idea. And you know what's funny? I was actually thinking about doing that with, like, Monster Hunter, where, like, how far does Fatalis get into One Piece? How many One Piece characters can take on Fatalis? You know what I mean? I think those would be fun ideas. The series is so long, I feel like there's a bunch of different, like, metrics by which you can stop characters. No, you don't have to go so low as to push Shanks over Mihawk for the Power Rangers. That's so far. Goku punches can't hurt Luffy because Luffy's immune to blunt force attacks. That's also a fair point. Have you progressed in reading? I haven't even started that shit yet, man. I am so far back in, like, reading, just series in general. We didn't see it in the My Hero Academia. I don't care what situation in the manga. Nobody destroyed a city. JJK fans always glaze Gojo's domain expansion, saying it'll solo One Piece, not knowing domain expansions only work on someone with cursed energy. Otherwise, verse equalization needs to apply, which I'm not a fan of. Not only that, but only Sukuna is capable of actually affecting others with his domain expansion, unless you want to count Kenjaku. Death Battle hasn't had a Luffy period. They're correct that Naruto is beating Ichigo. Eon, will Mihawk die never busting a single nut? Bro, practicing celibacy sword, what the fuck? Is there a Del fruit that allows you to travel through dimensions? Yes, the door fruit. I just realized, can Haki users outside of the One Piece verse hit intangible users? No, Haki doesn't. Haki solidifies Logia users specifically. It wouldn't. I don't think it would work. For $50, will you make a video about how Sengoku is the strongest marine? You'd have to pay me $500 for that shit, and I'm telling you right now, that shit's gonna be a minute long. You'd have to pay me like 10 times this amount, and I promise you, you would have to fucking I promise you, that shit's not gonna be past like a minute long. Cause real talk, there's nothing to go off of Sengoku. To Kaido's lower Dragon Bagua, that's crazy. All right. How is Sukuna Glaze the thing I come back to? That's crazy. Even Sukuna with the 10 shadows, yet you still say Kaido bonks him? Yeah, no. Listen, what the fuck is Maharaga gonna do? Maharaga's gonna stand there like a fucking, I don't know, deer in headlights as Kaido runs up to him and bonks it so fucking hard he probably sends Maharaga across the goddamn country or the goddamn island, and then while it's trying to get back to him, Kaido is just right there just Hulk smashing Sukuna on the ground. He grabs him by a leg and he literally just does the same bullshit Hulk did to Loki but on a grander scale, because Kaido is like 3 times bigger than the fucking Hulk, bro. It's not even close. Like, oh man. And like, what's Sukuna gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna hit him with a dismantle. I'm telling you right now, if Sukuna pops domain expansion on Kaido, he is walking through that and just hitting him in the head with a fucking Thunder Bagua. Man. Where do you scale? I don't scale My Hero Academia. I can't give you a scale. It's not only that I don't scale it, I can't give you a fair scale because I've never really looked at the series past season 1. I put Lapis Lazuli through the gauntlet last night and she soft stopped at Doflamingo and hard stopped at Katakuri. Really? Really? Lapis Lazuli got that far? Holy fuck. Lapis Lazuli's crazy. You just made an ultra sub road to 10k. I appreciate you, 6. There's a 7 to 12% chance Eon enters this live stream finding out Eon glazing Sukuna. Yeah, true! Garp switched places with Jiraiya when he fought Pain. Garp will win. Oh, Garp is curb stomping the fuck out of Pain. As a matter of fact, you know what's crazy? If Garp were to fight Pain, he would automatically know there are 6 bodies, or at least somewhere around his vicinity, if they're within like the same building. They don't even need to be summoned. Like, if they're anywhere within the same vicinity, let's say like 20 floors up from the building that they were fighting in, he would honestly know where they're at because of Haki. That's the crazy part. Can the door fruit get to Kamui? No, Kamui is its own sealed off dimension, and the door fruit has its own space technically as well. To make it fair, you'd have to give Kaido the Big Mom special 100 sea stone prism wrapped 100 times with 50 elephant tranquilizers, and Sukuna stands a chance not to get blitzed immediately. And not only that, he'd still be too tanky. Kaido could sit there asleep and he would still tank all of Sukuna's slashes. I think Oda could use Monster Hunter as an inspiration for Zoan fruits. I think that'd be interesting. Imagine Shanks punching water to death just because he has Haki. That'd be insane. There's several dimension fruits. Brule also has another dimension fruit. That is very true. Oda uses mythology for his inspirations. Blackbeard has said multiple times his darkness has infinite power, both gravity and pressure, during his fight with Ace. What's your opinion? I don't know about like the infinite. I think like when he means infinite gravity, I mean like just the ability to like constantly pull things in. I don't mean like it's literally infinite power that he has. This may sound random, but I do eventually want to do a video on Hindu myth or someone from it versus someone from fiction. What tips you got? So if you want to make a video, I would first say, okay, so when it comes to like mythology specifically, a lot of it's basically all lore scaling. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of lore scaling in general, but you kind of have to apply it. And I think that's one of the reasons why any gods from any kind of religion or mythos essentially scale so high, because it really just is all based on like, you know, hearsay from their mythology or things, you know, that they've given the gods based on XYZ, right? You'd have to essentially, I would say, like, depending on where you scale the Hindu gods, to what level of, like, let's say, conceptual abilities that they've got, I would say, don't try to, at that point, quantify anything. If you try to scale, I would say, give the characters essentially just state what the characters have done within the context of their stories, what the characters have in terms of their abilities, and then leave it there, and then just give a comparison to another character, whomever it is you want to compare them to. Let's say, if you want to do Jin Mori from, God of High School, right? If you want to use him as an example, right? The reason why I say this is because oftentimes I feel like people go too much into like, oh, the quantifiable routes, which people want to go into like the quantifiable routes, which, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's the best way to go in my opinion. This is why I do the scaling that I do, only because it at least helps you like figure out how strong or how fast someone is, but I don't think it's necessarily plausible within the context of lore, because let's say you have a character that says, I don't know, they could hold the entirety of the cosmos within their hands, and then you somehow calculate that to be like an infinite speed, millions of times faster, billions, trillions, quadrillions of times faster than light. It's like, I don't know if I would go that route for that when it goes to lore scaling. I just say, well, the character did this. Interpret that however you will. This other character performed these feats, and then just give the people the opportunity for them to decide for themselves. You can give your own opinions as to how the fight would go or how the comparison might go down, but I would generally say for stuff like that, especially when it goes into lore scaling, just state what they've done, and then go from there. Just say, you know, it's really up to you to decide who do you think would win, right? The reason why I say that also, holy 55 concurrent viewers, that's insane. Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Happy Ramadan, happy Sunday. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. What got you my sub is when you slander verse equalization. It's very unfair for one combatant and make zero sense. Thank you, Matt. When are you going to do JoJo videos? I don't know yet, but it'll definitely be in the future. Technically, Megumi Domain can also be used in a versus battle. He can sink people into his shadow since they don't have CE to apply to their feet. I don't know if that necessarily... I don't know if I would agree with that. Now, Kaido lost to lava at the end. Sukuna Flames would solo Kaido. True. He didn't lose to Flames. He got knocked into a volcano. Well, the collateral damage of the leaf, crazy. By the way, would you ever do versus battles on anime movie characters? I would. I've been thinking about it. So the Heian era Kaido still bonks him. I agree with Kaido bonking him with the 10 shadows. Yeah, I can't tell you about Heian era because we don't know anything about Heian era. Like, a Galaxy Impact is good, but he just destroys the entire Hidden Leaf Village by accident. Thoughts on people saying Bleach Reiatsu is very similar to One Piece Hockey? I disagree with it. It doesn't work even remotely the same, and I don't think people would, you know, I don't think I would necessarily ever consider it. So you're saying Kaido can tank the World Cutting Slash? No, if I'm going by what the World Cutting Slash is stated to do, and it's stated to split whatever is inside of its range, whatever, all the existence within that range apart, I would say the World Cutting Slash can kill Kaido. The problem is Kaido's never going to get hit by it. We know Luffy has a limit of how much he can stretch. Goku could punch Luffy with force to stretch his body beyond its limits. I could probably see that. Let me see. The recent SBS, Luffy might have killed Oda. How do we scale that, Eon? If Luffy can kill Oda, then Luffy is beyond the context of his own story. Therefore, Luffy solos Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Luffy solo is quite literally almost a fiction then if he can solo his own author. And let me put it like this. If the SBS, I don't know what the exact SBS statement is, we can look into it in a bit, but if what you say is true and Luffy can like solo Oda, I'm just taking what you said like in its most hyper literal sense. By the way, I'm gonna be in debate 1. Let me see. Ooh, wait, what the fuck? I didn't click that. Over here. Wait, there we go. At everyone. I'll be in debate 1. So we can start with the hot takes and debates. Please... if you're ready, so we can set up a line. Okay, there we go. Yep, send it. Okay, back to this, and then we can start it up. Can you do a Shinra Bashoman versus battle video? I'd have to read through the entirety of Fire Force, but I am planning on doing it eventually, so don't worry about it. We do some Universal Plus characters versus battles. I'm thinking about doing it. The only issue is that I don't know who to do yet, because I'd have to... I know I can at least like figure out Dragon Ball scaling relatively easily, since it's one of the first verses I kind of learned how to scale, or at least learn somewhat the scaling of. So I can do that soon enough. Just I might end up doing a Shinra versus Goku video actually. That's the thing. Sukuna wouldn't pull the World Cutting Slash off rip. I think he would, honestly. I don't think anything is stopping him from doing it, because he kind of just used it against. He used it against Higuruma. He used it against Yuta. He definitely used it against Gojo. He even used it against Kashimo. He will pull out that move whenever the fuck he wants, but he'll likely use it as soon as he figures out none of his slashes work. The fuck you mean too durable? World Cutting Slash can cut the dimension itself. I don't know about that. I don't know if I said that. Hot take, Loki's aura is better than Kaido's aura. What Loki did in the most recent chapter had way more aura than anything Kaido's done. That's great. Hey, Con, you are a bit biased for Giants, though. Let's be honest. What do you think about the argument about the truth seeking just straight up obliterates even Logia users because they destroy the soul? I don't know if I would agree with that, but either way, I don't really care for it since most Logia users would be fast enough to dodge it anyway. There's no tanking world sledding slash. It cuts space itself. He could dodge it though. That battle is live with Spawn and Ghost Rider. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, hey, we got somebody in? Hey, what's up, Julius?
Hello.
What's up, what's up? Do you have a debate or do you have a versus battle you'd like to do? Can everybody hear him? Hey, what's good, Drago? Can you do a Kuma versus battle? I can do a Kuma versus battle soon. Wait up. Julius, you still there? Can you hear me? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to. How do I do this? Because I don't want to open chat. Let me see. What the fuck are these images? What the fuck? Why do you guys have images? All right. How do I do this real quick? Sorry, I don't really use Discord that often. Let's move you real quick to debate 2 for a second. Okay. So, let's get back to... Let's head back. If anything, let me finish up with these, and then we'll... I'll let you know when you guys can come. I'll let you know when you can join. 6, you'll be the first one to join, by the way. 6, you'll be the first one to join. You're right. My giant bias is showing. Versus Poochie. Yeah, I believe Popeye can just turn Luffy into a rubber ball and then just dunk him like the Lakers game. Just got done with talking to my dad. I'm here to bring the goofy hot takes. I'm ready for it, Yule. I'm ready for it. All right, 6. Whenever you're ready, you can pull up Looney Tunes versus the Nasu verse. I wonder how close those verses are. I'd probably still give it to the Looney Tunes verse, but that's only because I think Bugs Bunny has actually drawn up his own skits before, which would give him like a higher sense of dimensionality or something. We'll do 6, then we'll do we'll go down the line. We'll go down the line. 1 second, guys. All right. So, whenever you guys are ready, we can start it up. And if anybody wants to talk to me, specifically, you guys want to like debate me on a specific topic, we can go at it for a little bit. Yeah, sure. Julius probably can't hear you. Strange. Does Luffy actually have Toon Force? If so, to what degree? Well, I don't really like ever using the term Toon Force because I'm not really a fan of like the concept. It's a fan-made concept, and to say that like a character has it, especially a character that isn't primarily from an American Western style cartoon, I don't know if I would exactly like agree with it because it's like saying O'Reilly has Toon Force or Bobo has Toon Force. I don't know. It's not something that I usually care to even like give a character. In my opinion, if I had to say that Luffy has a Toon Force, the best way I could rationalize it is the concept of narrative Toon Force. Luffy can still do a lot of like the wacky activities that he can perform, when like he loses his eyeballs and his scars and everything, all of his details, and then he just puts them back on. He can still do stuff like that, but narrative Toon Force essentially focuses on the idea that like it's limited to the context of the story. Yeah, all of this wacky stuff is plausible for Luffy, but at the same time, he can't go beyond the point of like, let's say, applying the applications of rubber to his surroundings and his opponents, and essentially manipulating him through that method. It's not like, oh, he's pulling out a pen out of nowhere, stepping outside of the page, and then drawing a mustache on fucking Emu. I don't think it goes to that extent anyway. Ahead of me if they won. Turning on my computer. Okay. If anybody would like to go in front of 6, let me know right now. You can rejoin the chat. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, what's up, 6?
All right.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. Happy talking to you guys. Let me know whenever you're ready. Do you have a hot take? Do you want to have a debate? What do you want to do?
I have two or three hot takes that I'm gonna do right now.
All right, let me hear them. Let me hear them. You guys,
All right,
chat.
let me start with one.
1 second. Let me see. Chat. Can you guys hear him? I think he has a narrative tune for us. It's not like SpongeBob unraveling the universe and rewriting a story. Okay, he can hear them. Okay, perfect. You can go. Yeah,
All right, my first
he's
take
louder than
is
everybody.
Luffy,
Okay.
Midniff, Kaido, and Elbath.
Luffy mid diffs Kaido in Elbaf. Holy shit.
Yep.
Here, let me lower you just a tiny bit. That's crazy. That's crazy. So he mid diffs Kaido. Okay, can you give me some context? Because I know
Okay,
that I
so
like.
basically,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so he was fighting good with Kaido, like fighting pretty evenly in Gear 4
Right,
while he was like right before he got Gear 5,
right,
and then he just gets bonked on the head, and then he gets Gear 5.
right.
He he beats Kaido pretty handedly, and then he goes on to Egghead.
Yeah,
He gets an island buff,
right.
and he gets stronger through the use of more Toon Force with Gear 5.
That is true. He does get more applications of Gear 5 as he goes along, and it seems to be more He actually seems to be able to use Gear 5 more consistently now. Like he just
Yeah.
activates the form at will. Ooh,
And then we go into Elbath, and we see he's even more proficient with Gear 5, and then he gets Gear 4 in base when he was already pretty much matching Kaido in Gear 4 in Elbath. Or not Elbath, Wano.
that is true. That is true. So you think it's a mid diff? You
Yep.
you don't think that like he would at least have to still go Gear 5 to fight and beat Kaido?
No, I do think he would have to go Gear 5, but he would mid-diff him in Gear 5.
Really, mid diff is crazy. So like, in my let me see if I can do it. How would you say that his fight against how would you scale his fight against Kizaru and Saturn? Would you say that was a mid diff? Because I'm trying to like contextualize it within like how he fought his most recent opponents.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they couldn't really do much to him.
Holy shit! All right, you guys heard it here first. Luffy mid diffs Kaido now. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that like. I think that it's a mid diff for Luffy. I probably still say that like Kaido pushes him at least to Gear 5, but I do think that he would beat him to a. I think that he would beat him more. How do I want to say this? I think he would beat him while risking less. You know what I mean? While risking like
Yeah,
less damage overall. But I see where you're coming from, and honestly, I do agree with the notion that like Kaido is starting to like at least now going into Elbath, depending on what we see, Kaido is really starting to like feel the effects of the One Piece power creep, which is kind of crazy to
yeah.
say because I know that most people seem to just stay with the narrative that like Kaido is still above Luffy. So I'm happy to hear that, man.
And lastly, to counter like the people who say, "Oh, he was super nerfed,"
Yeah,
uh, he didn't even take that much damage before like Gear 5. I mean, if you want to use blood as a metric, then
yeah,
maybe, but like no. Like the island, it had no effect on him, like whatsoever from what we've seen.
right.
He never showed any signs of fatigue, and he tanked like most of the attacks. All like most of the attacks pre like Yamato and like
Right.
Acock Luffy, he called too shallow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I got some comments here that I want to read to you if you're down
All
for
right.
that. One of them says you got to think about the circumstances. You can't say Kaido didn't use stamina moving an island for over an hour. That's a fair point. Although, if I may, real quick, I would disagree with that only because Kaido never showed any kind of fatigue when
Yeah.
he was moving the island. He never really shows himself being tired beyond like his fights against the others. All right. Right now we have, let's see, I put up a poll. We have 20 votes so far, and damn, 70% are saying no, he doesn't. That's crazy, bruh. You guys don't think so? That's crazy. Hey, can you try to change their minds?
Hey, I mean, Luffy or Kaido got power clipped. I'm not gonna lie.
Luffy, Kaido got power clipped. I will agree that he got power clipped at least in terms of durability by Saturn, though. I will say it's likely like some hack space shit with Saturn as well.
Yeah.
All right, let me hear your next hot take.
All right. This is more like a video game, like anime video game hot take.
Let's go
But
for it. Yeah.
Budokai Tenkaichi is just a worse version of Sparking Zero.
Budokai Tenkaichi is the worst version of. Oh
Like they
shit.
improved on it in every way.
That is true. I do agree with that. I actually do agree with that. But people aren't ready to hear that, man. Nostalgia is a big factor for a lot of this.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was really enjoying Sparking Zero for the most part. I'm happy that went with a lot of the changes that they did. But man, I have not gone back to that game. That shit fell off so fucking fast. It's like, oh, we got Sparking Zero, new toy syndrome, and then it's over.
It's fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. People are not ready for that. It's crazy. All right, let me put up another poll. We got 30 votes in.
But,
Wow,
like, what does it do better than Sparking Zero?
that is true.
Like, it just
Also,
improves upon.
also the story mode is so fucking vast with all the what ifs. Like they
Yeah.
really put in a lot of love into that game.
Like Gohan Black.
Gohan Black is crazy. I thought that shit was a mod when I first found it. Like when I saw like some shorts of it on YouTube, I was like, motherfuckers really out here modding Gohan Black. Like this shit is
Yeah, I
crazy.
saw like a YouTube thumbnail. I thought the same thing.
For real. What do you, Rohan is asking Six, what do you think of Goat Hawk?
Gohawk, I think he paints his sword and he has crust on his asshole.
He has a I mean, he has no toilet paper, right? The
He has no
Mihawk
toilet
bathroom. Yeah, he doesn't have any toilet paper. But what if Mihawk, all right, like not to get too in depth, but like you know, like whenever like you use the bathroom and like once every like blue moon, like you don't need to wipe, like there's just nothing there. What if that's just Mihawk every time? What if like he's just such a good swordsman? He just knows how to like cut it off very cleanly.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one. All right, all right.
I mean, every once in a while, everybody has diarrhea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's no way Goat Hawk hasn't. He poops on the sword. That's crazy. All right, he uses the cheek cutting technique. That's crazy. All right, what's your next hot take? Let me hear it.
All right, hold up. So this is kind of like an upscale of my last hot take with Black Clover.
Sure, sure. Let me hear it.
But let me drop the scans real quick.
Yeah. Put the scans. If anybody wants to put scans, please put them in the debates scans room, please. You can upload them, to the debate scans channel whenever you want. Ooh, we got scans for this one. I'm excited. I am very much excited for this. Yeah, we definitely need to have some Black Clover scaling. I'd actually be down whenever I get to Black Clover if you'd if anything want to like assist me in a video.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
All right, I dropped him.
Okay, so I'll pull up the
My
first
hot
one
take
and you can
is
go with
inaccessible Black Clover.
Inaccessible Black Clover. Got you.
So basically, where this comes from is, like, you know, has a spell called Neverland,
Yes.
and it is stated that in Neverland, time stands still. So basically, how Neverland works, it's like a buff for allies and like a debuff for enemies.
Right. So let me read through this. Okay. Time restraining magic chronostasis, huh? Time stopped. Garo stopped, the tentacles stopped, Yuno and Bell stopped, all the magic knights around them stopped. They were all wrapped in an absurdly large sphere of magic where all movement ceased. Before Yuno could begin to process what happened, the sphere of magic slowly converged until it surrounded only Garo. The tentacles had stopped moving, but before long, they lost their power and vanished into the air. Yuno was released from Julius's time prison, causing him to fall back on his side, where he continued to stay as he watched. Witness the power of love. Together, Yuno and I can control the flow of magic and time within this space, strengthening our allies' spells and weakening our enemies. My time magic attacks are based on deterioration. The spell manipulates time, speeding it up, but in Neverland, time stands still. The magic really doesn't seem as if it was created specifically... Oh, it really does seem as if it was created specifically to defy me. It's horrible. I knew it. Fire! It just used several magic attributes at once, and what phenomenal strength. We can't even scratch it. Everyone, one of those angels has power like that. It's no use. Magic knights or nobles, there's just nothing we can do about it. Even so, we have to fight. We must protect the people. Alright. That's so crazy.
Yeah, so the definition of inaccessible speed is moving in stop time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So Black Clover's officially has inaccessible speed. Now let me ask you this: Do you think it's more hack space, like within this stopped space? It sort of like cancels out the ability to stop time, because he says right here, Lucius says right here that it seems like it was created specifically to counter him, to defy him. So you think it's more or less just like a countermeasure for such things, or do you think it's like just straight up inaccessible speed?
I mean, it's yeah, I think it's designed to be a counter for his time magic, so it is inaccessible.
Okay, Black Clover. Let me put up the poll. Black Clover has inaccessible. I hope I wrote that right. It's two S's, right? Inaccessible speed. Yes, no. Let's see what the chat says. Hiromi Higuruma versus Damnatio. Who winning? I don't know who the fuck Damnatio is. I have scans. Oh, you have scans for yours, Lapis? Sweet. All right, let's see where we're at right now. 11 votes so far. 55 agree. Yes. Hey, look at that. Black Clover crazy scaling. Let's go. Yeah, nah. The extent that Black Clover has reached is honestly super impressive. I would say that, like, even in comparison to like the big three, you know what? I could even say like I could definitely see Black Clover being put above even One Piece. Like the scaling for it is just shot up so fast. The power creep for the series really has been insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like really insane, especially in like the latest arcs.
Oh, 100% I agree.
I also got like an 100 times boost with Zen.
Yeah, I'm still confused by like the whole Zeton thing. I think that as time goes by and as like I finally sit down and like really read through like especially the final arc, I'll come more around to it. But I don't know. I haven't really like liked the idea of Zeton yet. You know what I mean? I feel like it was introduced far too late into the story for me to like really say, you know, this doesn't feel like too much of an ass pull in my opinion. And I don't really like using the term ass pull. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said that's understandable.
Yeah. Infinite speed JJK argument. Inaccessible, borderline inconsistent. That's crazy. Extra poison damage. Let's see what they say. Mihawk uses his butter knife to cut off the excess poop. What the fuck? That's vile. Hey Kong. Poo knife goes crazy. Insane. All right.
I mean, Crusty Panda goes crazy.
As the Black Clover chapters go longer and longer, Deku versus Asta straight up gets worse and worse for Deku. Type shit, honestly. All right, so with over half of the votes so far, we've got 50% yes, 50% no. Hey, I mean, it's got to be a good take if you got half of the people agreeing with you, right?
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Do you have anything else, or are we good?
I just have one last thing to say.
For sure.
Invisible food is peak.
That is crazy. You just choose to hurt me, my guy. That's crazy. You don't
I'll come back later.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out. All right, Julius. Are you good? Can we finally hear you? Oh shit! What the fuck? Well, Julius left the thing. Sure. Anybody else that wants to go, you're more than welcome to start it up. If anybody else wants to join the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'll be sitting here. But until then, those are some interesting takes, I gotta say. I really do want to like get into Black Clover once I'm caught up with everything else. I really do. It seems like a very interesting verse to like attempt to scale, and I really do think that like I can actually make a lot. I can definitely make a lot of a better like versus battle content if I scale it instead to One Piece instead of Naruto. I have a debate. Can I type it here or not? I would rather us do like a vocal. You can at least type it up and we can talk about it. I can at least try to rationalize it. You're more than welcome to, Scopper. Though I will say I'd prefer to you know, have a vocal dialogue. But if anybody feels more comfortable, you know, just uploading scans and just doing that, you're more than welcome to. All right. Let me see. Whenever you're ready, Anastius, let me know.
I am ready.
Okay, you're ready? Let me lower you just a tiny bit, because, yeah, a little bit loud, just so that... Okay, can you talk real quick?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, you have a hot take, you have a debate, what do you want to do?
It's a bit of a hot take to begin, first of all.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you a Garp Glazer, by any chance?
A Garp Glazer? No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't really glaze anybody but my king, my liege, my lord Sukuna. All right.
Okay. So your power scale is One Piece, but you don't have an agenda for any character.
I really don't care to have an agenda for any character. I really don't. Like anything I say is just a genuine opinion that I've developed over the character. Except for Sengoku. Except for Sengoku.
Hmm.
Sengoku's the only character I will
Okay.
not give any fucking credence to. Fuck that guy and his stupid ass afro.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand. Um, I was gonna push an agenda of you being a Celestial Dragon supporter if you were saying that you are a Garp Laser.
That
So
is
you said
crazy.
that
What
one.
the fuck? A celestial dragon agenda? What the fuck, dude?
I mean, Garp did prevent the slaves from being freed at the Battle of God Valley. I mean, he was there to save Celestial Dragons, was he not?
I guess, but how does that have to do with me being a garb glazer? What the fuck?
I mean, do you support the action of Garp or no? Yes
I
or
don't
no?
I won't say I support every one of his actions. I can understand why he has done certain things, but I can't sit here
Alright,
and
that's
say
clear. That's
like
clear. That's enough. That's clear. That's clear.
yeah, I could
Just
say like
kidding.
I can understand certain actions like why he didn't protect Ace, but god damn. All right.
That's all I needed. In any case, I wanted also to argue a bit about the most boring topic of power scaling, more precisely the speed of argument.
Okay, sure.
Um,
Let's go for it.
I've yeah, I've noted that you basically scale, I say speed generally very high when it comes to your video. Like,
Yeah.
for example, when it came to Luffy, I believe you had him at like a couple times light speed by the end of your scaling chain.
Fair enough, yeah.
I would say that I agree with the end result. Like, for example, when you were comparing the One Piece verse to the Naruto verse,
Yeah.
but I don't believe how to say that, like the methodology that you had to use to get there. For
That's fair.
example,
That's a fair point. Yeah. Okay.
I believe that if you were to say that Luffy is faster, I agree. I hold the same position, but
Yeah.
let's say to compare him, for example, to Naruto.
100%. Okay.
If I had to say the make that same argument, I'd just say, for example, that Kirin is like a big point of reference in the Naruto verse,
Okay.
and it's explicitly stated to be natural lightning, which
Okay.
is why it is exceptional as a jutsu.
Okay.
And basically, you can say that any jutsu that is not Kirin is not natural lightning, therefore it doesn't move at lightning speed.
Okay.
And for example, you could say that the cap for light speed is simply the light fang so far. I guess you could use the laser circus, but
The
I
laser.
I'm a bit hmm?
Uh-huh. No, I was
Yeah,
gonna say the laser circus I've always found to be a bit contentious because it's not it's called light rays, but it's not necessarily light, and even in the very same scan that it's mentioned, it uses the terms a manipulation of water and lightning, which I guess it's in reference to its two chakra natures, but I don't know how they exactly equate to light. If I had to like at least try to like rationalize it from Kishimoto's standpoint, but I see where you're coming from.
I can agree with that. I don't use it for the same reasons, and also for the fact that if you, for example, use the anime depiction of it,
Yeah.
there's like a Gaara's sand and Temari's shuriken moving alongside. So it's kind of weird. So
I'm
so yeah.
sorry. Like the last 15 seconds just cut off for me. Like the last like 10 seconds cut off for me because my mic just unplugged itself automatically. Do you mind repeating like, right
Yeah,
after right after like you started talking about like the kidney, can you please
yeah.
repeat yourself? Thank you.
I was saying that basically I think that using the laser circus as a point of reference for light speed is a bit contentious
Yeah.
because you see, for example, in the anime depiction, I don't know how it is in the manga, you see Gaara's sand and Temari's shuriken moving alongside it.
Yeah.
So you'd have then to scale every single attack from Gaara at light speed,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to explain basically a whole lot of scaling that doesn't make sense.
It is
So
inconsistent to certain degrees. I do agree with that. It makes it a bit annoying if you I assume you've watched my video Crocodile versus Gara where I essentially just gave Gara every single benefit of doubt possible just to get him to like lightspeed just so I can like compare him to Crocodile and I could still get Crocodile to be faster. I understand where like a lot of people like have an issue with specifically my methodology for like scaling speed because and just to like, you know, put this out right now in terms of like a live stream, because I have been thinking about this as well in my own personal time, and it's that I don't, let me put it like this. I've said before that like you can get Luffy to trillions of times faster than light based on just in canon information, right? Like Doriki scaling, the gear amps, so on and so forth. You can get Luffy to like some insane extensive speed, especially because of the fact that he's constantly surpassing his previous peak in his base. The thing is that like it doesn't necessarily have to all, let me put it like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a number that you take into consideration. It's just a way to like quantify, because it's just a way to quantify the scaling, so that way I can say, okay, well, look, if you take Naruto and you take One Piece and you're trying to compare, like, let's say Naruto versus Luffy, you can say both characters are FTL. That's fine. There's no issue with that. But then the thing about being a character being FTL, or if you want to say MFTL, whatever, is that being faster than light kind of is like a massive spectrum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
so because it's such a massive spectrum, just saying, well, Naruto's FTL. Well, what about Luffy? Well, he's FTL too. Well, so who would win in a speed fight? You know, who'd win in a fight? Well, we can that's where I go on into then doing the quantifiable metric that I go by, because I'm just using stuff that I get from within the canon elements of the story. Don't get me wrong. My method is not 100% perfect, right? It's not perfect. It definitely does. Definitely the USB port. It is definitely the USB port, because I haven't even moved my fucking mic. So I just want to make it clear, guys. When my mic, whenever my mic turns off, it's not me moving. It's definitely just the fucking USB port for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that like, the only reason why I try to go out of my way to quantify these series is just to like then give a context of like, okay, well, they're both faster than light, but you can still get Luffy to be faster, and vice versa. The issue is that like a series like Naruto, I will wholeheartedly say it does not benefit a lot from my method of quantification, because Kishimoto himself never really went out of his way to like make many quantifiable statements, like several times, tens of times. He never really gave like quantifiable metrics for the power-ups. Oda did it enough, at least within the context of One Piece, and even Akira Toriyama, for example. Dragon Ball is another series that I can easily apply my method of scaling for, because we have multipliers for things like for like Super Saiyan 2, 3, so on and so forth, even if we don't have something for like God or Blue. So you can still get some pretty crazy numbers for like, you know, Goku and Vegeta and all these other characters. I'm not saying it's a perfect method, but hey, what's up, Mr. Dents? But I am saying that like, to me, it is the best method by which I can try to quantify a series, simply because it uses the most canon information without having to rely on things like pixel scaling or, you know, whatever BS joules per whatever calc that, you know, people like to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I took up too much of your time.
No,
But I
no
wanted to
problem.
clarify that.
Because you also brought something that I wanted to talk to you about
Yeah.
when it came to your Gara versus Crocodile video. Because I argued a bit with you in the chat during that live that you did,
Yeah.
preparing that video. And basically, it was about the interaction between Chakra and Crocodile's Devil Fruit, predictably.
Right.
Yeah. And basically, I believe that I didn't explain myself clearly enough.
Okay.
So I wanted to clarify what I meant. So basically, what I said was that if we agree on Gaara's mechanics when it comes to manipulating sand, it is that he projects his chakra onto grains of sand to move them.
Right.
So in a way, it's a sort of telekinesis.
Yeah, okay.
My argument was that Crocodile, by having physical power that scales to Alabasta Luffy, should be able to be strong enough to overpower the Gaara's chakra control.
That is.
So therefore,
yeah.
he should be able. So therefore, he should be able to ignore Gaara's sand control.
So, I like the line of logic that you're using as to why Crocodile should be capable of ignoring Gaara's sand. Now, I'm sure like if you go back to my video, you can see me saying that, like, you know, it was a topic of conversation that I just wanted to 100% just not even talk about in the video. The reason
Yeah.
why is because it's very hard to like, it's very hard, at least in my opinion, for one to like argue that a character like Gaara who can manipulate sand versus a character like Crocodile who is sand, you know, which of those characters should be able to overpower one another or be able to control the other's, you know, equal element, right? My thing is that
Yeah.
it's one of those questions that, at least in my opinion, while one could make an argument for it, I'm sure someone in chat or someone out there could make just as equally of a value of a just as sorry, let me slow down. Someone out there can definitely
Okay.
make an equally proper argument for, or an equally logical argument for Gaara being able to control Crocodile Sand. The thing is that because this is a question that has to be, or let me slow down again. Because this is a question that isn't possible to answer within the context of either series, since there is no other sand user in One Piece. There's not really anyone else in One Piece that uses sand as a weapon, and there isn't anyone in Naruto that is made out of sand besides arguably the Shukaku. But in his case, we never even see Gaara manipulate the Shukaku itself, or anyone manipulate the Shukaku itself through, you know, some form of sand manipulation. It becomes then very difficult to like argue for either side, you know what I mean? It becomes one of those things that I will say 100%, if you believe Crocodile can ignore Gaara's sand, if you believe Crocodile can control Gaara's sand, or if you believe Gaara can control Crocodile, I feel like there are probably equally viable arguments for all of them, simply because it really comes down to what you personally interpret the abilities to work, based on how you interpret them to work.
Okay, so basically you prefer to stillman the argument to avoid unnecessary like
Yeah.
lengthening of the video, basically.
Yeah, so I feel like a big portion of the video would then just become like, okay, well, could Gaara control Crocodile? Okay, well, here's some evidence that might suggest to that. Well, could Crocodile control Gaara? Here's some evidence that suggests to that. You know what I mean? It just becomes a very like subjective, even more so subjective than like all the conversations that we could have. It's one of those topics where it's like, if a specific interaction, like let's say Magellan's poison and water style, since we've never seen how Magellan's devil fruit interacts with water, it's one of those topics where I'm just like, you have to just ask the author. I don't want to be the guy who just makes the claim because I have nothing to go off of. If I'm just giving you my opinion, some people are going to disagree. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate in the comments, or some people might agree. It just becomes one of those things that I would personally like to just avoid, because it then becomes the focus of the conversation rather than just a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a massive derail of the conversation.
Exactly. You could be having this conversation one-on-one with anybody, and then like 30 minutes of the conversation is just, yeah, but no, but see, I still don't agree. Crocodile, just why would he be able to be controlled by Gaara? He doesn't even have a chakra network. You know what I mean? It just becomes like a whole thing of back and forth of like, well, no, because Gaara can manipulate Shikaku or whatever, or Shikaku allows him to manipulate sand, or his mother's soul probably overtakes Crocodile. I don't know. See, you know what I mean? It just becomes very pedantic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can understand that.
When it comes to those kind of things, I just rather avoid them, just to be clear.
You're absolutely within your right of doing so. Myself, I've been in those situations. It's not fun to have the argument that you wanted to make completely forgotten.
Right.
So I can understand that.
Yes.
I've got just like one last take.
Go ahead.
That's about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
And your glorious King Sukuna. Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
So,
I heard Sukuna.
And your glorious King Sukuna.
Okay.
Yeah, your glorious King. So basically, do you remember when Higuruma got Sukuna in his domain?
Yeah.
I believe from there, instead of what we got, like Judgment taking away Kamutoke,
yeah,
I believe I thought of something actually better that would have been like more fitting thematically,
yeah,
and basically satisfying. You can tell me what you think of it.
Sure.
So what if instead of Sukuna just going basically, yeah, whatever the fuck, bro, just lock me up.
Yeah.
What if instead, just to spite Yuji, he wanted to drag the process as long as possible and just to fuck with him.
Just to fuck with Luffy, he just drags out the whole process of the fucking arc. Like, everyone's just out there waiting for Sukuna inside the thing. He's not even... Everyone's just like, yo, what's taking so long? And Sukuna's just constantly acting for like deliberations. Oh no, we have to set it back. He just gets his own fucking lawyer. He was ready for this, his own Shikodagami lawyer. Oh, I would love that. Just to spite Luffy. He's just pointing at Luffy the entire time. But all I'm saying is it was on his, Your Honor, it was in this motherfucker's body. He physically did this shit. Just because I was controlling the body doesn't mean that he's not to blame for this shit, man. I'm just saying. I'm crying.
And basically, how Higuruma basically has a backstory about having guilt of not being able to save his client, like his precedent client. So then he meets Yuji, who is also basically somebody who was a victim of Sukuna, but has to bear all the guilt by himself. And the first thing he does is basically treat him as if he was guilty of all these things. Of course, later he realizes that it's not the case.
Right.
And he basically becomes friends with Yuji. But what if this time has to atone for what his failure to defend an innocent before?
Yeah.
In this case, he can redeem himself by helping Yuji, who is also falsely bearing the guilt of Sukuna's actions, and pin the guilt of all of it on Sukuna.
Interesting.
So they have a full-on debate, as in an actual debate in which you can include like flashbacks, like complicated, like no limit fallacies arguments, Roman arguments, whatever the hell, everything, bad faith debating, everything you can think of, to basically redeem himself and like alleviate Yuji's conscience.
Can I ask you a question? If, let's say, like, Sukuna ever possessed the body of Higuruma, do you think he would just be like the world's craziest lawyer? Like he just absorbs all of the information of the law that he needs.
He would be the world's greatest gaslighter, that's for sure.
All right, yeah, I like that. Y'all ain't ready for that. That's interesting. That's an interesting way of putting it. I'm interested in like I'm interested in like a theoretical way of like what if Sukuna like just dragged out the entire situation between him and the others. Although I will say I did like just the way that Gege Akutami I do like the way that like the author essentially went out of their way to say like, okay, he knows the confines of like the domain, he knows exactly what it does, and he's not worried about any of the consequences. He knows for a fact that he only has to take he knows that he only has to like not get hit by the sword. I did enjoy that though, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't ready for like a whole like 2-3 chapters. When those chapters were coming out, I was like, I'm not ready to sit here and listen to Sukuna defend himself for like 2 or 3 chapters, bro. I just want to get to the fight.
That's what Mahoraga he's here for.
Yeah, but Mahoraga got destroyed though, to be fair. But I mean, it would be funny if like Mahoraga just like spawned in again. If he didn't get destroyed, he just spawned in again, and this time he's wearing like a whole suit and everything. He's just like, Your Honor, Your Honor, would my client really have done it if he said on his mother he wouldn't have? Like, come on.
Hey, my honor, with all due respect, you weren't even there.
For real, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. You get it. All right. You have anything else, man?
No.
Right, thank you so much for pulling up. I really appreciate you, man.
Glazer allegation. You're still not free of the Garp Glazer allegation.
I'm not. Hey, what do you mean not free? Hey, I never defended Garp in anything, man. That's crazy.
Celestial Dragon supporter, you heard it here first.
I never supported the Celestial Dragons. That's absolutely fucking insane. All right, let's see. What do we have? Zod has a hot take in chat since he's banned in the Discord. So once you're done with the hot take, saying it again in case you're done with the hot takes to his. Okay, yeah, we could definitely do it. Zod, what is your hot take? My hot take: Naruto dodging Haku is only subsonic to transonic. Guys, wow, that is a. Yet, you know what? I don't disagree with that. To be fair though, he really does only move in between things at light speed though. All right, when anybody else wants to join in chat, you're more than welcome to. I'm just gonna be reading some of the comments. Whoever's next. We're going by order of like who commented next. My take is that Lapis could solo the Naruto verse. Probably not gonna be on stream though. Oh, unfortunate, Lapis. Let's see. You got anybody? Bob, if you want to join, Flygon, if you want to join, you guys are more than welcome to. You guys are more than welcome to show up whenever you guys are ready. Okay, you can join right now, Yule. Perfect. Whenever you're ready. Fuga stated to be able to burn the solar system. That's crazy. Someone told me that Limbo clones have TSO using the games and manga. Then you look at the games and manga, they're not there. True. True. Luffy mid-dips Goku DBZ in fillers and movies based on feats of Luffy and Goku tying in a tournament and only using observation armament hockey with Gear 2 and Gear 3 and Goku being a Super Saiyan. I suppose. I suppose.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so
What's up?
I have a few. Yeah, I want to start off small, then we could get to like the more and crazy stuff.
Oh, 100%. Let me just lower you real quick, because from the first message with 6, they were like, he's a little too loud, at least louder than I am. So I'm gonna lower you down. Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah, I could just lower.
No, you're
my,
good. You're good. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
So the first thing I want to talk about is Crocodile does have one pretty good more DC feat, but also AP feat, and it's that he created like a tornado that destroyed like a small city when he
yes, by Yuba.
send
right?
it. Yeah, when he said it to Yuba, like that's like I think that you forgot about that in your video.
You know what's crazy? I didn't forget about it. I was looking through those panels the entire time, but I'm like, do I really need to argue his AP? I just have to show that he can just touch him and kill him. Like, I'm sorry if I might come across as like a bit disingenuous on my end, but I was just like, do I really need to even like, compare AP when this...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you could just like
100%.
mention it. Yeah, you should.
100%. No, 100%. I agree with you. I should have. That was on me.
And, yeah. Finally, now we get to the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get to
and by
One
the way,
Piece Universal.
1 second. By the way, I'm putting this up in chat just to show that, like, these are the panels. I put them up immediately. Yeah, he technically did just blast away at least an entire town, though from my understanding it also did survive. I'll be clicking through it just to see if like Yuba did survive to an extent, but yeah, you can go. I'm sorry.
So yeah, there's a possibility, it's not really, I'm not going to say it's just a theoretical possibility. But there is a possibility that the internal flame could be technically universal.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eternal Flame Universal. I'll wait to put up a poll for that one.
So, how I think I have some.
If you have anything you want to upload, let me know when you put it into the debate scan channel, okay?
Okay.
I'll just be clicking through. Oh wait, Yuba did survive. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
So there is a possibility that you know how like in infinite energy works, like it's just that makes it immediately like. Now obviously it's still unsure, we are unsure about it, but what I mean is the eternal flame, not the mother flame. The mother flame, I believe you can make like a sun with that. The eternal flame's like completely different. It's like the OG flame with an infinite energy source.
Okay.
And I believe it's possible that Emu used the infinite energy source to defeat the entire One Piece verse back 800 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Because I mean, there's a statement that says the mother flame never goes out. It's like always stays on and never burns out.
Okay.
Which could make it universal, but I mostly lean towards like they could just make a sun star level bare minimum.
Do you think the more information we hop on this, the more it'll add credence to the universal theory?
Yeah, possibly.
So the eternal flame, is that different from the mother flame? I'm kind of like drawing a blank for it. Okay.
Yes, it is. Okay. So the mother flame is the one that Vegapunk created.
Right.
And the eternal flame is like a higher flame that we don't understand yet. Like it's possibly one that, yeah, okay. It's possibly one that that I think Luffy can make with his Nika fruit, and that would be like the most interesting part about it.
So you're saying like if Luffy is able to develop an eternal flame, which essentially
Yeah.
has infinite energy, then that would put him to the
Yeah.
extent of universal.
Yeah, possibly.
Let me type this into chat as a poll. Can Luffy be? Can Luffy reach universal? Luffy reach universal via the eternal flame. Reach universal. Do you have any more takes? The eternal.
I mean, mostly not really. I just remember yesterday we had
Yeah.
some insane. The only thing I want to say is that I'm currently making a document of a game called Run the Grand Line, where you put a
Ooh.
character in, and you could set on each difficulty. There's Battle Wiki difficulty. There's
Battle Wiki is like versus Battle Wiki, like you're
Yeah.
using the skill.
There's low ball. There's low ball. There's mid ball, and there's high ball, and there's like specific rules and stuff. I'll probably post it once it's fully made. You could take a look at it. It'd
Sure.
probably be a cool series you could do
Yeah, I'm actually been thinking
if it does well.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking about doing like a how far does each of these characters get into One Piece, since it's such a long series and there's like so many different extents to like where you can get certain characters to, like from island. Well, let's not say like island for verbatim, but like let's say being the strongest in an island to being capable of taking out a capital of a city, or to being country level from there and move, so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing something like that. I was thinking about maybe seeing like how far do like I mentioned before, how far do the monsters in Monster Hunter get into One Piece? I think something like that'd be interesting. Like how dangerous would a black dragon like Fatalis? How dangerous would it be within the context of the One Piece verse? As I was watching actually and finishing off the story mode for Monster Hunter Wild, I was like, bruh, this one of the like the larger monsters in the game, I think it's called like Dudania or something like that. It was only like really destroying parts of like a mountain, and that was by like crawling around still was already unstable, and I'm like, this thing would not get very far now, would it? Like yeah. I think it'd be interesting.
It'd basically be one of those like Luffy beasts where Luffy fought in like during his training.
Exactly. I think it'd actually also be interesting to see like, could the hunters for Monster Hunter, like how many of these animals could they take down? Because I was planning on eventually making a video, and just like a quick spoilers for everyone, I was thinking about whenever I get like the scaling down, I was thinking about doing a video maybe like Gamma Bunta versus like an Elder Dragon from Monster Hunter. I'd be interested in seeing like how like the giant summonings, the animal summonings, would do against some of like the Elder Dragons.
I will just say there's like a couple rules.
Yeah.
Like for example, like they just have to be every opponent that Luffy like beats. Like it doesn't have to be like the crews or anything. It's just like that's basically, I call it run the gamut. So, that's pretty much it.
So wait, only like the opponents that Luffy's fought?
Yeah, Luffy fought.
What about
unless you want to like
like extended like as far as possible to see like out of all of the villains that they fought? I think that'd also be interesting, because it at least adds a bit of like metric and credence, or at least for like certain more nuanced characters. I think something like how would they do against like the Guardians from like Enel's, like his high priests and stuff. I think that'd also be interesting, since those characters never get any love.
Yeah. I would say the only character that it would have to be opponents Luffy has fought and defeated. The only character I would say that's an exception to is Magellan.
Magellan is a fucking problem, dude.
Yeah, that would be the biggest choke point.
Yeah.
So is NL. Those are two giant choke points.
There, and I definitely actually.
Yeah, and I would do it by like not just like end of series character. I would say like you would do it by beginning of series character, then so like every time.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It'd be like short battles.
Yeah.
Because if you did it in depth, it would take like 12 hours to explain every.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Like it would mostly just be like present the feats that the characters have done up until this point, and then just be like, all right, so then I'll leave it to you guys in the comments to like focus on that. That's not my prerogative. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your poll with 23 votes so far, 24 says, "Can Luffy reach Universal via the Eternal Flame?" And you got 80% saying yes out of 25 votes. Holy shit! So only 5 people disagree.
That's
hey,
funny.
good shit. Yeah. Hey, you made a good argument. What can I say? All right, man. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Flygon. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good
See you
one, man.
later.
By the way, IMAX, yes, I have been enjoying Wild. I have beaten the low rank. I'm currently in high rank. I've been just going through some stuff. I decided I might not play that much today just because it's been taking up too much of my time. W Flygon, can we get some W Flygons? Some W, fuck, I always forget the name. Anastius, some W's 6s, some, let's just keep getting W's out here, chat. We're having fun. We're talking. We're shooting the shits. Oh, shit. What the fuck is this? Is this from fucking... What the fuck series is this? What series is this? Your style's crazy. Alright. Anybody else wants to join? Hey, Julius. What's good, man? Did you fix your mic? Let's see.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Julius? What's good? Let me
Hello?
Ooh. A little bit loud. I'm going to lower you first. There we go. Whenever you're ready. Okay. That series is versus. Oh, let me close it up. You'll go after Julius Lapis. Wonderful. Wunderbar. This is fun. This is fun. Hearing you guys' takes. Let's give more voices to the community. And if you guys would like to join and give me your hot takes, you can join the Discord by just either subscribing to the Ko-Fi or by becoming a YouTube member. I do want to, at least around maybe like June or July, add a bit more to offer for my Discord members, so on and so forth, So, if anybody, and I might just increase the tier, I might just increase, not the price, but in other words, make a second tier for it, where I'll take suggestions, and once a month I'll try to make at least, because I'm trying to make like quick videos now, and I think I can upload at least 3 videos a month at this point, considering like my speed, depending on the topic of conversation. So, I do want to eventually add Discord member recommended videos to the channel. Obviously, they would have to be relatively short to like, not relatively short, but they'd have to be like within the context of something I'm already reading, so that way I can get through the content relatively fast. Lapis, you can go if anything. I'll be expecting that Power Rangers video soon, bucko. Yo, Sean Lord, you and Rohan really want me to make that Power Rangers? Oh, man. Which Power Ranger should I fucking do? Should I do the comic? Should I do one of the series? Because I don't think I could sit through the fucking series. I really don't think so. Like, I tried to, like, go back and, like, watch a Power Ranger series or two. I don't think I can. I could do the transformations. I can't do all, like, the corny-ass dialogue, man. But, hey, who knows?
Yo, am I at a good volume?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me just lower you a tiny bit. Oh, wait. I already got you a little bit lowered. Okay, it's fine. You can go.
All right, good. I'm just on a phone right now. That's why the balance might be off.
No worries, no worries.
So, oh boy, we got so I have 2 hot takes and one just like a question for you.
For sure. Go ahead.
So, the first hot take is Reg Universe is planetary from his hot dog.
Wait, what universe?
Reg Universe.
The regular?
From Steven Universe.
Oh,
yeah,
Steven
Greg.
Universe. Okay.
From Steven Universe. Yeah, Steven's dad. Okay, so here's my logic.
Greg. Okay. I thought you said Reg, and I was like, wait, regular show? What the fuck? Greg.
No, Greg.
Steven Universe is planetary. Sure. I'm not gonna put up the poll yet, but let me hear you out.
Okay, so the reason why I say his hot dog, a certain kind of hot dog, is planetary, is because, okay, we're doing this based off of rose quartz. So rose quartz is a diamond, okay?
Yeah.
And it's shown in the extended timeline. It's in Steven Universe scans.
Right.
It's probably towards like the first 2 I posted. that upon the diamond's creation,
right,
they literally cracked open a whole entire planet. All four of them upon their creation.
okay,
And based off of that, I think you can assume that like they should be able to like survive their own creation event.
okay.
So that's how I get the diamonds to planetary. So
Okay.
back to Greg Universe. So Rose Quartz, when she gave birth to Steven, she had to die in order to pass over her gem to Steven.
Right.
Therefore, because Greg got Rose pregnant,
Okay.
his hot dog is planetary.
Wait, I thought you were talking about an actual Oh, shit.
And I have another piece of evidence. When I can't actually like post it and show it to you in debate scans because it's all like copyrighted stuff.
That's fine. Yeah.
But in what was it, the episode known as Reunited?
Okay.
When Greg wanted to like use the quote unquote universe charm on Blue Diamond, all of the crystal gems were like, no. And the reason for that is because they know that Greg can do that much damage. They wanted Steven to try to do Talk no Jutsu first.
So Greg is secretly like insane.
So Greg is secretly insane.
That is crazy. That's crazy. He quite literally dicked someone down to death. That's crazy.
Yes. It was basically a latent attack that took 9 months to fully complete.
I mean, hey, listen, as long as it takes them out, right? It's in a versus battle, I guess, hey, it's a double knockout at worst, right?
It's a double knock.
It's a double knockout at worst. That's all I'm saying, man. That's crazy. Yo.
All I'm saying is they don't call him Greg Universe for nothing.
For real.
They don't call him Greg Universe for nothing.
Actually, type shit. Damn, Greg is crazy. So is he? Okay. So they die if they give birth.
So the reason why Rose Quartz essentially died upon giving birth to Steven is because she had to pass her gem off to Steven. Okay. And gems, the way that gems work, and this will come into play with my second hot take. So basically the gems basically project basically a hologram that has mass. That is actually the gem, it's like the person itself.
Okay.
So if Rose Quartz doesn't have her gem, she's dead.
She doesn't have like herself. She doesn't have her essence.
She doesn't have her essence. Literally, the way that basically the way like gems work, they don't have like any organs. They're basically, like I said, holograms with mass. Essentially.
Right. Someone said toddler level durability. That's crazy.
Toddler level durability is wild.
It's actually wild. She died to a child. I don't know. She died to a newborn. She's weaker than a coughing baby versus a hydrogen bomb.
Exactly.
That's crazy,
bro. So that gets to my second point.
Right.
This is gonna piss off so many people.
Fair enough.
All right. Because these gems are holograms of light, essentially.
Okay.
Just they have mass.
Okay.
I think you could make the argument that the gems in episode 1 of Steven Universe are light speed.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how many people would agree with that, but hey, it is a line of scaling, right? They are. What is it? Artificial light? Is it like literal light? Let's try to break this down.
Essentially, it's essentially just light. Well, so Pearl says in the short "What Are Gems?" that basically the gems like actual body is like a physical projection. It's basically just light with mass.
Ah, okay, got you. So they're like solid light.
They're basically like solid light, and it's funny because I was bringing up in my basically my rundown of Lapis going through the Grand Line,
right?
That if she got hit by a Noro beam by Foxy, would she be affected? Because she's literally made of light. Unless it like actually hits her gem.
Let me look up that up real quick.
It's like light on light contact. I don't know how that would work because it's not like slowing down the light.
The Noro beams, or at least like the Noro photons, from my understanding of them, they slow down anything that they touch, be it solid, liquid, or gas. Let me double check that though. What is it, like 320?
Solid. If it's solid, liquid, or gas, that still doesn't
Wouldn't
include
affect
light.
her. Yeah, no, 100%. Let me just see if I can find the comment. I don't remember. Oh wait, so here's the race. I'm just gonna skip forward a couple chapters. I'll just look at the chapter where Foxy explains his powers real quick, and we can just confirm that. Wait, I think I went by it too fast. Okay. An undiscovered particle, whatever this light strikes, be it living creature, liquid, or gas, will maintain all of its other properties but lose velocity. I guess it doesn't. Unless you argue that, like, even in their solid light state, they are not technically solid. Because it says living creature, and they are technically living creatures. So, yes, then?
They are living, but the thing is that they're artificial intelligence, essentially.
But are they alive?
I mean, yeah, they're alive.
Aha!
So, yeah, I guess it
would. Let me stop. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you want to, like, rationalize it. I guess it really just depends on how you choose to rationalize it. Though I do understand your point. That's interesting. So their light speed by episode 1. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, their light speed by episode 1.
Sure.
And I did some, like, there was this really funny thing I did with just looking at some freaking clips of the show. And going big, if you highball Jasper at the end of season 1, you could technically get her to 10 million times the speed of light because she was able to grab Lapis's leg while she was trying to fly away. And the reason why that's 10 million times the speed of light is because she flew from Earth to the Andromeda Galaxy in like 3 months.
Fuck, dude. Oh shit. That's a crazy speed.
That's like highball. That's highball Steven Universe though. I mean, probably the craziest thing is if you assume that an attack from Homeworld, which is in the Andromeda Galaxy, reached Earth in 1.75 seconds, you get like something ridiculous. Like the attack is traveling at like 32 trillion times the speed of light.
Really? 72
and
trillion?
Has like
holy fuck.
32 trillion times the speed of light, and has the AP equivalent to like multi-solar system levels.
Multi-solar system levels of attack potency is crazy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't use that. I wouldn't use that calc though. I would disregard that
like
calc.
It's one of those things where it's like you can use it if you want to, you just don't agree with it. Yeah.
It's just like it's just wank.
Yeah. Some feats just feel like they're too, not even too exaggerated. I feel like sometimes it's just like when you really try to like quantify it based on like, you know, like joules of power, etc., or like the whole TNT thing. It's I guess trying to quantify a series that like maybe doesn't even really follow the same laws of physics or like logic that like the real world does maybe isn't like entirely fair. You know what I mean? I've been wrestling over with this idea because while I don't usually agree with the idea of using like joules of force, or at least trying to apply that to series like, let's say, One Piece, or even, for example, Steven Universe, if it's a more grounded series based on reality, then that form of scaling is more viable, like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Yeah. So now I'm on to the actual question I'm giving you, and this comes from when I was running the Grand Line with Lapis. So
Sure.
Everybody in the chat basically agreed she would absolutely stomp through pre-time skip just because of her speed and hacks.
Fair enough, yeah.
Like she literally controls water, right? She controls water.
Yeah.
And her reach of water, she can control water like thousands of kilometers from where she is, based off of the time she made the water pillar.
Right.
So when we get to time skip, she obviously stomps Hody. I mean, it's Hody.
Yeah.
We got the Caesar.
But,
She stomps.
wait, he gets stronger while he's in water. I'm playing,
But
man.
wait, yeah, all right, but she gets through Caesar because she literally has water,
Yeah.
and so she. It's kind of funny how she has basically a counter for Logias.
Yeah, 100%. She just wets them and then they're kind of fucked. Or she just creates like a giant water bubble, like in Part 1 Naruto.
Yeah. So then we get to Doflamingo, and this is
Okay.
where the questions start to happen.
Sure.
So I was discussing with Flygon, Bob, Yulric. I was discussing with all of them Lapis versus Doflamingo,
Right.
and so one of the things that came up was the Devil Fruit Awakening of Doflamingo.
Right.
So you probably know he can just turn shit into string.
Can he? I didn't know that.
So he basically, well, you know, the awakening can turn stuff into string. So
Yeah.
the question is, can he turn water into string?
I would say
Because
no.
it's inorganic.
I would say no. I don't think it has to be organic material. I think it could be anything non-living, but it can't be water. Or at least we've never seen a Logia user turn water. Sorry, not a Logia. A Paramecia user turn water into their own devil fruit properties. I don't think it would be the case.
The main line of argument was Aokiji basically freezing a crap, like basically just turning the whole entire beach side of Longland into just ice.
Well, that doesn't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily have to apply to that, and I think you know where I'm going with this, because freezing water isn't the same thing as, like, you know, turning it into the actual element. You know, it's just a different form.
Yeah.
It's just turning it into a different state of matter. I think that it genuinely is a devil fruit by devil fruit scenario where certain devil fruits can interact with water without being dissipated, like how Kizaru's able to still shoot beams of light and it can go inside like the ocean and then they don't disperse, they don't disappear. Luffy can turn clouds of water, well, clouds in the sky into rubber and grab onto them. I don't know if you can do the same thing with water itself, at least in its liquid state, but I would assume that, like, okay, if Doflamingo were fighting her, can I ask you this? So let's just go off of like the guys that, like, she is her body does have like the properties of light, but it's also like, what would you say? It's hard light, right? The crystal, the crystal gem's physical body. Would you say that maybe he could turn her body into string if he's close enough?
I don't think so, just because it has like the properties of light, except for the fact it has mass. I just don't know, because it's like because look, with all the things we've seen, like Devil Fruit Awakenings, like turn, like transmute into, it's all like actual physical matter.
Yeah.
Light is made of photons, which is not
Physical
traditional
matter.
physical matter.
But the reason why I ask it is because, like, if they're turning into some form of solid light that can interact with objects, like, are they technically still photons at that point, or are they like a different state of matter, or would they even be considered a solid at that point? You know what I mean? Like,
it's all just light with mass. That's the thing. There's nothing that really contradicts that that it's like, oh, they're actual like physical like matter, like it changed light into matter. It's not like they're transmuting photons into, say, like rock or something like that. It's not like that. And so, you know, when I was debating this, the interesting thing that came up is that Doflamingo, without a doubt, could actually turn her gem into string.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's actually physical, like actual concrete matter.
Can I ask you a question? Do you believe that devil fruit users, specifically ones that have awakened their devil fruit, they can like know what objects they can turn into their element, or well, their ability? Let's just say. Do you think like they have an idea of like what they can and can't turn? Like intuitive.
I don't know though. I mean, the thing is that like, I'm just trying to think of this in the context of this crossverse fight. I think Yeah,
I feel like it's one of those like questions like before with Gaara's sand and crocodile sand. It's like let's just not even like consider it. You know what I mean? It's just too much headcanon.
it's too. Yeah, I'm literally just. This is like legitimately giving me an aneurysm trying to like.
yeah. Like your gears start grinding too much from like, well, would it? Because it's like it's physical matter. It's not technically the living thing, but you know it is. It's like does it
Yeah.
affect living things? Does it doesn't? You know what I mean? I get you. I get the frustration because like I'm starting to think about this too now. It's like with Doflamingo, if he's close enough to her, let's say like he grabs onto her, he's like, oh wait, your gem, and then he just starts like turning it into string. Would that just make her disappear? Like, is that just an auto one shot? You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh, he would auto one shot her. Oh, he would
Yeah.
auto one shot her if he touched her gem
Yeah.
and he knew that. Oh, what if I just turn her into string? See, the thing is that
Yeah.
I don't think Doflamingo would like try to turn her into string because in his mind, she's just like every other person he has fought except
she's blue.
she has my natural weakness. She blue and she has my natural weakness. That's it. And so that's where I put the soft stop at, but I definitely put the hard stop at Katakuri. And the
Really?
reason why I say that is future sight.
Yeah, Future Sight is a bit too stupid. Do you think she even remotely stands a chance if they fight each other in like Bru Lee's dimension?
Oh, hell no. Because she has no access to water.
It's like, oh, she's controlling water from the outside. Oh, she's flooding all of Whole Cake Island, but he's beating her ass.
He's beating her ass in the mirror dimension because it has no connection to like an outside source of water, and he would literally just need to use a better than Gatling gun to just absolutely mollywop her. It's ridiculous.
This is interesting.
However, if you put her in say the wedding hall where
Right.
the cake incident happened.
Yes, the cake incident.
She would be able to use her arsenal. However, I still think that Future Sight is just so broken that when the two would first interact, Katakuri would immediately know that she would go for the flood, essentially, and would try to end the fight as soon as possible. Also, I had a discussion in chat about how if Lapis knew that Katakuri had some way to see into the future, she would think it would act like Garnet's future vision, not future sight. And there is a huge difference between the two.
Okay, what's the difference?
Future vision, for all of y'all in chat that don't know how it works, essentially, we've only seen it used by Sapphire and Garnet. The way it works is that you see hundreds, potentially thousands of branching futures, upwards of like days and up to like a day in advance.
Oh shit.
The problem is that you don't know the exact future. You have to.
It shows you all possibilities, but you don't know what exactly is going to happen. You just know that one of these is possible.
So the reason why Garnet is so proficient with future vision is because she's been using it for 5,750 years. She's been able to fine tune it, and even then, I still think it's way weaker than future sight, which is just this is exactly what's going to happen in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Like this is.
It's basically future vision is precog based on luck.
Yeah, it's based all on probability and like series of events based on compared to like future sight, which is like this is exactly what is going to happen, and you have free range to change the result based on how you choose to interact with it.
Yeah, and so I think if Lapis knew that, she would think that Katakuri had some kind of way to see into the future. She would think it would be like Garnet's future vision.
Yeah.
And that would end up actually nerfing her.
Yeah, because it would screw her over since she doesn't know, like, she would say, like, oh, he's figuring out everything I'm doing. Like, how is he able to tell what exactly it is I'm going to do? Gotcha.
Yeah. And then just for shits and giggles, we brought out Kaido and just watch the scene from Wano where Luffy gets blitzed in one shot. except she doesn't get severely knocked out. She literally dies in one hit because
crumbles to dust.
The anime. Maybe, probably. No, but the funny thing is that I watched the anime version of Kaido one-shotting Luffy.
Yeah.
And the way that Luffy goes into the freaking bedrock on the side of a cliff,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he goes in back first. That's not good.
Oh right,
That's where
her.
Gem is. That's
Yeah,
where Gem
yeah,
is.
yeah. I do at least remember seeing like one episode of that series with her in it. So I was like, yeah. You're right. If she gets slammed in her back, yeah, she's breaking that shit. Oh man,
Yeah, that
damn.
shit is breaking.
That shit would be kind of brutal too. It's like she hits the side of the cliff or like the mountain, and then it's just like, oh, her body just shatters into pieces. Oh god, that's gruesome. God.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, that's interesting. I'd be interested in doing maybe adding in some Steven Universe content to the channel later on if you ever want to help me out with it, man. Thank you,
I can help you a lot with that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
I've been doing I've been playing the three main light games just to
Right.
get some scaling because they are canon.
Right. Yeah, I remember you telling me.
And the scaling can get pretty up there, relatively speaking. I think
Yeah. How long is
people
Steven
are
Universe?
gonna get. It's 180 episodes. However, each episode is like 11 minutes long, so it's like 90 One Piece episodes in length.
Okay. I mean, if the scaling is pretty up there, even by like 90 episodes. I mean, if you want to go with the whole like light speed at the start, fuck it, right?
Yeah, if you want to hear my honest opinion, light
Sure.
speed meta starts at the end of season 1
Okay.
when Garnet fights Jasper on the hand ship. And then
okay.
it gets to in the MFTL meta
Jasper's
starts at the end.
orange one, right?
Yeah, the big buff Cheeto Puff.
Okay. Cheeto Puff.
And then the MFTL scaling starts at the end of season 4 because that's where that's when Save the Light takes place, and we get a absolutely stupid feat by Hestonite basically blitzing and one-shotting 5 gems that are light speed
Right.
within like a freaking huge amount of distance. And we get like, I think me and Yol calced it that she was moving at like 535 times the speed of light.
Holy shit.
I'm going to give you a fair warning, Eon. This is one of the series you kind of need calcs for because it's not like a shonen where they have the ability to like the author just gives you like a constant kind of like drip feed of battle information.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to use a little bit of calcs.
That's fine.
But if you're willing to do that, I think
I mean, you could provide all of it. I don't, because the thing is that like Steven Universe has never been like an IP or like a series that like I've cared for. Mostly because I just cannot stand musicals. Like they're just not for me.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, if I ever decide to like throw it into the channel, I'm more than willing to like just give me like we can like just sit on Discord and we can like record it together. You can just you can just like just drip in the information. Where I can always give like the disclaimer that like, so we're gonna compare them though. I'm gonna be doing these calculations and he's gonna be doing he's gonna be using this different side of scaling, and then we can just go on from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bet.
Because ultimately, it all depends on like how you choose to scale the series. And I mean, if you kind of have certain series just do benefit from other forms of scaling more than others. That's something I've also been kind of starting to understand myself.
Yeah. So. What was I gonna say? Sorry, my mom is talking right now.
Oh no worries.
So do you have a bunch of dangler? Send it.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta go now. But all I gotta say is, drink your invisible water.
Fuck you. Fuck you. God damn it. Hey, what's up, Julius? You got your mic fixed?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Julius. How you been?
I'm good. Just researching more mythology, not doing much.
Yeah. So do you have any hot takes? Do you have any debates you want to bring up? Any questions?
Naruto stomps Luffy in every form barring Gear 5.
Naruto stomps Luffy in every form via Gear 5. Oh shit. Let me put up that in the fucking chat. Naruto stomps Luffy. And now which version of Naruto are we talking about?
War Arc Naruto.
War Arc Naruto. Got you. Let's put it up and see what people see. Okay, do you wanna provide any evidence for it or what?
No, it's mostly because of just the raw power difference and
power
just the
difference?
sheer amount of
Mm-hmm.
the power difference and the fact that Naruto would be impossible to take down.
Love you, Zod.
He has,
Sorry.
yeah.
I was just replying to a comment. Sorry. He said he was leaving, so I just wanted to say it real quick. Oh, wait. Ignore all those empty cans of beans. It's crazy. Okay. I'm sorry, Julius. My apologies. So what were you saying?
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah. So you said he has... so Naruto's just way too strong, right? You wait the difference in AP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the raw power difference, and Sage Mode would be too hard for him to overpower or counter in any way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it like... How fast do you think Naruto is?
Faster than light, obviously.
No, for
If
sure.
it's
For
Warlock,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I
Oh,
guess it's fair. So, how strong do you think Naruto is, per se?
Well, as of the War Arc?
Yeah, like in terms of like like just giving it like in terms of tiers, right? Like, do you think he's like country, continental, multi-continental?
I did an answer on this about 5 years ago, and he gets to around multi-continental or planetary because of the whole because of the 10 tails stuff, and him scaling to Madara and all that sort of stuff.
What about then what about like the continental stuff for what about the continental stuff for One Piece with like Donsai and Don Chinjo? Like, would you say that Luffy's at least like multi-continental by like Wano?
Yeah, for sure. Because for One Piece, the main thing I remember was Don that guy with the big forehead, and there was a calculation done several years ago now on one of those trees that Kizaru hits in what's that arc? It's the first arc he appears in, where he destroys a tree and it's really big, really big, and they calculated to be continental in size.
The tree itself?
Yeah, something like that.
It might be like a combination of all the trees then, because I know like the mangroves are massive. They do reach to like a bottom of like 10,000 feet, but the thing is that like it was just one mangrove where there are like 40 plus of them, making up the entirety of the Sabaody archipelago.
Yeah. It's what you said about the mangrove trees and how big they are. Something like that, from what I remember. I mean, if you want to be realistic, Naruto just beats him in hacks because as strong as Haki is, it wouldn't matter when Luffy's getting overwhelmed with about 2,000 clones.
Do you think that
with Rasengan, the Rasen to each one,
Do you think Luffy can put out the clones with Conqueror's Haki, since they would be relatively weaker depending on the higher number that Naruto goes?
Yeah, definitely. It depends how many. If there's around 1,000 or 2,000, obviously you could. But then getting past the main Naruto with about if he went with the war arc, if he went with the strategy from the war where he had about 12 super clones, he probably would be able to just overpower Luffy.
You think he could keep up with Luffy?
I mean, maybe.
Because my question, because the thing is that like I've talked about this in chat before. I don't know if you were here for like the last stream. Even if we don't go by like quantifiable metrics within the series, I was talking to chat about how like even if you just go by like the earliest consistent starting point for light speed meta in Naruto, which is usually like the 5 Kage summits, and there's really aren't that many consistent there's really not any consistent light speed meta prior to that. There are a few, you know what I mean, like the Haku light mirrors, the quote unquote water fang bullet. I don't agree with that one though. Kirin, but they're not like consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very spread out apart even within like their points in time. So from the 5 Kage summit all the way to the end of the war arc, yes, I can definitely agree that Naruto is FTL, but to like would the degree of FTL be greater than Luffy being light speed by Sabaody and then having 12 arcs to just get faster, including in addition to like 2 years worth of training and another extra like week worth of training?
With that in mind, I'm pretty sure if you take that into consideration, no, Luffy would probably just outspeed Naruto by that logic, because as you said, the gap it's just the gaps in terms of arcs. Because as you said, Luffy, his FTL scaling is in what I forgot the arc name. But it's basically when he fights Kuma, who fires those light beams at me. He's like, oh, too slow.
Yeah.
But with Naruto, it's abundantly clear that he loses in the speed department, but he would actually just overpower Luffy in every other way because of hacks, as I said.
I do agree with like the notion that Naruto would at least have like more raw damage and I wouldn't say destructive capacity since I don't think he has anything that's larger than the Bajrangan per se. But I'm only saying that in terms of like actual size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My thing is that like don't get me wrong. I think if Naruto can like land a good number of hits, let's say like let's just throw in a number, right? Let's just say like he can land in like 10 or 20 Rasen shurikens, like tailed beast bomb Rasen shurikens. I'm just throwing out a number. You can say like it's lower, larger than that, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think that like the speed difference, at least in my opinion, is big enough that like the power difference doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you think though, if you use War Arc Naruto, that he could just do what he did against Madara's Meteors, where he fired the tail beast bomb Rasen shurikens at them? Could you do that to Luffy's big hand?
Yes, but also no, because while I do think that is a very viable option for Naruto, the thing is that you have to remember Luffy's Bajrangan doesn't make physical contact. You can honestly argue that that the explosions would go off away from his hand, since he would be pushing out all of the haki with the combination of advanced conquerors plus emission. So like he basically has an invisible armor over that giant hand that is protecting the fist from even taking the damage to begin with. You can kind of see it when he did it with Kaido, where like he blasts away all of the lava from the flame dragon and just punches him down right afterwards with his fist.
Okay. So would you say it's the air pressure of the attack that would actually just do Naruto in?
I don't think it's the air pressure of the attack. I think it's the actual hit from the move. Because the thing is that yes, I do think that like for one, this is a battle that I've thought about before, where I'm like, verse equalization or no, it doesn't matter. Like neither of them benefit or like lose anything from it. You know what I mean? But the thing about Naruto is that he is specifically immune to all ninjutsu, but he's not immune to senjutsu, six paths jutsu, or taijutsu, which is just physical hits. So Luffy doesn't. It doesn't really matter what it is via whether it's haki or just an actual force of his punch. I do think Luffy can essentially, even if you think like, well, Naruto can easily tank. Well, maybe not easily. Let me say this: Naruto can easily tank Luffy's normal punches. I do think that there isn't much to argue against him being able to just eat Luffy's let's say internal destruction attacks without at least reeling a little bit. Because remember, there has never been a statement in the series that says there's never been a statement within all of Naruto that says that Sage Mode, Six Path Senjutsu, or any kind of amps that Naruto's ever gotten improve his internal durability. Ninjas, even Kakashi said that there's no way to train your internal organs. So whatever damage Naruto's taking on the inside, I think personally that is just raw damage he's taking, like even if he was in base. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the thing is with Luffy is you've got two main ways he can win. Very simple ways, right?
Yeah.
One is through using haki to using either armament or the one where his hand has black and just damaging him internally, as you said, or B, using his Toon Force to just turn every attack he does into rubber, then eventually turn him into rubber and do enough damage to knock him out cold. But for Naruto, his win cons are very simple. His win cons are either using the Rasen Shuriken,
big bomb,
for a prolonged period of basically big bomb, or just using the truth seeking orbs to essentially just one.
The truth seeking orbs. The truth seeking orbs have always been a thing that I'm like, I wouldn't be against the notion that like, let's say Naruto hits Luffy with a truth seeking orb, like just wholeheartedly hits him and just like expands and like, contracts them or whatever. I do think that like, if you wanted to make the argument that Naruto could destroy Luffy's body with them, I wouldn't be necessarily against that. The thing is that, again, given the massive speed difference, I just don't think that they would be as viable of an option. The reason why I say this, well, there's three reasons why I say this, right?
Why?
Naruto doesn't use the truth-seeking orbs like any of the other six paths users, right? Actually, Obito is really the only one that necessarily uses the truth-seeking orbs in a very offensive manner. Yes, Naruto used them as well, but he used them, for example, as like stakes to stop one of the Limbo clones. He used them as like a staff to hurt Madara's Limbo clone, or when he was gonna whack Madara with it, or he used another one to, like, let's say, block out one of Madara's Sage lightning storm release attacks. He uses them for platforms, etc. So I don't know if it would be in character for Naruto to like throw a truth-seeking orb at Luffy and, you know, just expand and just explode it, so to speak. I don't know if that would necessarily be something that he would do,
I mean,
but I'm willing to at least consider it as a possible thing, right?
Yes. The only problem with that is this. Against Sasuke, he did throw about 3 truthing orbs at him, which were obviously deflected. But the thing with Luffy is, because of the nature of the orbs, you could just simply argue that Luffy, if he touches them, he'll either get his hand erased or his hand will be damaged, which is the problem. And then all Naruto would need to do is just speed blitz in front of him and fire a Sengon into him, and that's it. It'll be game over.
I would disagree with that, only because we've seen that Luffy, even with normal observation haki, and we know that it was just normal observation haki back in Marineford. Back in Marineford, he was fighting Mihawk, and Mihawk had like his sword ready and cocked back. Luffy went in for a jet bazooka or a jet cannon, and just before he let go of the attack, Luffy essentially, he saw his arms get split apart. Actually, if you look at on screen, I think I have it like right here. And Luffy sees right here, my arms are going to be lost. So I think that there is a very plausible argument for one to say that, like, Luffy, let's say he's about to shoot his attack, whether he looks into the future, because he does that more often now than he uses observation haki, at least as of Rooftop Wano onward. He uses observation, he uses future sight more often, so he would know that, wait, if I do this attack and he, you know, tries to parry it with a truth-seeking orb, I'm going to lose my arms. So, and Luffy can always either stop himself or just, you know, switch up his tactic. The thing is, and this is like the biggest contingency that I really have with like just Luffy versus Naruto as a whole, isn't even just the speed difference. It's the fact that Luffy just knows what the fuck is going to happen in the future. We know that Naruto has fought characters like the Uchiha who have used the Sharingan, which allows them to essentially see linear movements through dynamic vision, so they can essentially see the path of your attack before it happens, but you still have to like but it still shows a relative extent only within, like, let's say, the character's movement. For example, you see Naruto a couple of steps ahead from when he's fighting Sasuke. Let's say you want to extend that, I don't know how many times because of the evolution of the Sharingan or whatever, but the fact is, Naruto has never really fought anyone who just verbatim knows what the fuck is going to happen in the future, right? So in an event for, like, let's say you say Naruto creates like 2,000 shadow clones, 1,000 shadow clones, throws a bunch of Rasen shurikens, Luffy would already know the attack is coming before Naruto even thinks about using it. You know what I mean? He would always know what Naruto is going to do before he does it. And given the speed difference, even if you think, well, Naruto can take a good portion of Luffy's attack. Let's say it takes Luffy 50 punches to take down Naruto, whereas Naruto only needs to land 10 Rasen shurikens to beat Luffy. I would still put my money on Luffy because of the speed difference plus future sight. It really is just a matter of like Luffy having the very specific toolkit that kind of ignores a lot of what Naruto can do even beyond like Gear 5. And I'm also referring to this even in like his previous forms, not just in Gear 5.
So, but the problem with that is it then comes down to one question.
Right.
Is observation haki greater than Naruto's ability to sense extra dimensional forces? Is it?
So it's a bit different. Sorry, let me slow down. It's a bit different because, like, okay, I've actually thought about making a video titled Haki versus Senjutsu, Haki versus Sage Mode, because they have very similar power. They have very similar amps to, like, let's say the user, and I'm not talking about just like, you know, amps in terms of like how strong they get, more so how the abilities work. For example, Senjutsu has the ability for you to sense the nature around you in order to predict what your opponent's going to do, versus observation haki, which sort of does the same thing. With Sage Mode, however, you kind of need to get a chakra signature from somebody in order to like sense or you have to like be able to get like a massive amount of chakra from somebody, or sense a chakra signature,
Yeah.
etc., to be able to sense like people
Yeah.
from long distances. Whereas with observation hockey, it's more or less just I can sense anyone and their numbers
Yes.
from a specific distance around me, right?
Yes,
So
that
then,
is true, but
so then here's the thing, right? It's not possible to necessarily quantify which is objectively better, right? Like it really comes down to whether or not you think Sage Mode's danger sense is better than observation hockey. And don't get me wrong, Six Path Senjutsu should have even better
yes, it should.
it should definitely have better sensing abilities than Sage Mode, but again, it's not quantifiable. It really just goes
Yeah.
down to like whether you think
Yeah.
sensing what your opponent is going to do next is better than knowing what your opponent is going to do next, like having a visual a visual example of what is going to happen between words exchanged, sounds, everything, right? That's why I say personally that Future Sight is just better, because sure, I can sense what you're gonna do, but Naruto can still be hit. With Luffy, it's more or less I know what's gonna happen. The only way you can hurt me or hit me is if you are fast enough to do it in the first place.
The problem with that is with Sage Mode is I do believe it is in chapter 528
520.
of Naruto.
Let me pull it up.
528 page. What? No, there's a page where Naruto he senses the entire battlefield or the entire planet's worth when in Sage Mode, which shows that his in terms of.
Let me,
I think so. Yes.
It's a little bit farther ahead because I just saw Naruto still training with Jiraiya, so I'll skip through the chapters and I'll see what you mean. Okay. I know what you're
Do you
talking
know in the
about.
yeah, you see his Sage Mode markings and he's like, oh, I see all these people dying for me, something like that.
Right. Okay. So he's already in Sage Mode. He steps
Yeah.
out. I think that's more or less of a case of like so many jutsu and so many people fighting all at once. You know what I mean? He's essentially getting like a massive signature of like all of the chakra that's, spurting out from all the jutsu that's being used, rather than him, just sensing people because they exist. You know what I mean? He does say, do not misunderstand me. He does say that he can sense everybody in the village when he enters, when he pops up during the pain fight. I remember this being one of the first things he says. But again, I think that's more of a chakra signature thing rather than
that is true.
The individuals themselves existing.
It is more of a chakra signature thing because he says like, "Oh, Kakashi senses chakra is gone," but then he senses the entire village worth. So you could argue that in terms of range, Naruto's sensory abilities are definitely stronger. But the problem is,
I would say they reach far.
how does he? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But the question is how does he counter Luffy's ability to just straight up see the future?
That's the thing.
Which,
I can't really say. That's the problem.
I mean,
it's tough.
There is a way.
Okay.
There is a way he could. It's through just overwhelming him with clones and then just tricking him from there. Just overpowering him with numbers. You could go. That's the logical strategy of doing things. But the problem is again, seeing the future is a lot better than being overwhelmed. Because if you can see the future directly, you can adapt and then he could just overpower the clones from there. But the problem is Naruto's more durable, but Luffy's faster. So it comes down to one question: who hits first?
Well,
That's
who
the
hits
main
first? In my opinion, Luffy will always hit first. If you've seen Luffy versus Rob Lucci, the more recent fight, when like Luffy transforms into Gear 5 and then just immediately hard blitzes Lucci, that's essentially what I always mean when I say like a hard blitz. It's like the character's right in front of you, they're about to punch you in the face, and there is quite literally nothing you can do about it. I do think that would be the result of the fight. The reason why I say this is because like, even if you wanted to argue, and listen, I'm not here to say whether or not Naruto or Luffy, who's tankier between the two. I would say if anything, there's like a comparable level of endurance between the two. You can maybe argue Naruto has more endurance, but I would definitely say that Luffy can definitely take more hits than Naruto because, let me start off with 3 reasons. One, besides the natural level of durability that One Piece characters have over Naruto characters, it's already a precedent that like Luffy's body is already tougher. But it's not even just that; it's the fact that like Naruto can't rely on hitting Luffy with blunt force attacks. He can't punch Luffy because it just won't work, right? Even if you say like, well, what if he uses Sage Mode and like releases a blast of nature energy to like punch Luffy away? Well, what's to say that if anything would count as a, obviously since it's not verse equalization, that would just, if anything, push Luffy away rather than actually like hurt him like it did with one of the paths of pain. Now, as you said, Naruto could overwhelm Luffy with clones, but again, if Luffy knows Naruto's going to pop out clones or whatever amount, as we discussed earlier, I'd mentioned before that there is a possibility, I'm not saying that this would happen, but there is a possibility that depending on the massive number of clones Naruto chooses to use, if Luffy just hits his clones with a blast of haki, he can actually take them down. And let's just say, again, let's just go off of the hypothetical case. We're not saying that it would happen. I'm just saying that, if it were possible that, like, he can do it. Let me find the chapter real quick. If you're looking at the stream, it'll probably show up like in a minute or two.
Just calm yourself down. Just calm yourself down. Just talk slower. Talk slower.
My fault.
Relax.
My apologies.
Just relax.
My apologies. Whenever I get into like these things, I just start to like go on and run on sentences. So my apologies if you feel like I'm getting a little too quick-witted. So the point I really just want to get to is he basically mentions it some point around the training arc for the Rasen Shuriken, where Kakashi essentially explains to Naruto the training method of using the shadow clones, right? And if you recall, when he's using his shadow clones, Naruto also finds a massive amount of exertion because it's a quick training method, but he says, he says, unfortunately, with one's physical experiences, the mental fatigue is summed up and logged as well. So I've argued this before, and I've actually got this argument from Steinixos, where he mentioned that Naruto essentially gets the fatigue, or that all of his clones experience. Now, as for Conqueror's Haki, as you know, it's like a shockwave of intimidation that essentially puts you down. It just puts you to sleep, right? Let's just say, again, if Naruto makes, let's just throw in a massive number, like 10,000 shadow clones, 100,000 shadow clones, right? Like just a really big number, and Luffy hits all of those shadow clones with a blast of Conqueror's Haki. If they all knock out and disappear, I genuinely believe that like the accumulated mental fatigue will either put Naruto to sleep in an instant or fucking kill him, because it's essentially forcibly knocking them out, putting them in an unconscious state. And all of that, when they pop up, would immediately just affect Naruto. Like, it all just goes back as soon as they pop.
So if he shits out 10,000 clones,
right?
So you're saying if he shits out 10,000, when I believe there's a statement there's a statement in part 1 where it's like, oh, Naruto can make as many shadow clones as there are leaves on a tree. According to a
This was in part 2, and we're actually around those chapters. But yes, I see where you're going.
Yeah, there's a statement where it's like, oh, he can make as many clones as there are leaves on a tree. Yeah. And it's like, then there are about 200,000 leaves on a tree, I believe, according to most sources.
Something like that.
But
let's just go off of that number, right?
The problem with that is, if he does that, then he's gonna get exhausted and eventually just die because of Conqueror's Haki. But then the problem becomes, because this is the War Arc version, right. Well, what does Luffy do? What does Luffy do if Naruto uses his Kurama avatar and just decides to end the fight?
He makes himself even bigger than the Kurama avatar. Luffy can be bigger than the Kurama. The Kurama avatar at best is like a couple of dozens of meters tall, while Luffy can make himself larger than Kaido. And I mean, I don't know exactly the scale for Kaido. Some people have said that like full length he should be somewhere around 2 kilometers long. So Luffy can make himself big enough to grab Kaido from the base of his neck to one of the ends of his tails. Well, the end of his tail. So Luffy would, if anything, be a couple of 100 times bigger than Naruto. So he could just grab Naruto like a plush toy and just pet him on his head with like his hand. You know what I mean? Like, Naruto's Kurama avatar is still smaller than a giant Luffy. Luffy is faster than Naruto by a massive degree. Even if you wanted
Yeah,
to say that
but
Naruto's durability is greater, I would say that Luffy just has internal
yes,
destruction, which Naruto can't protect himself against. And
yes.
like I said before, even if it's like 500 punches Luffy needs to land versus Naruto's 10 Rasen Shurikens, Luffy does have a habit of, again, just throwing Gatling guns at his opponents, and he would rack up those numbers relatively quickly. I think that just in general, the fight really comes down to whether how high you need to scale Naruto in order to get him to beat Luffy, in my opinion.
Uh, if you use Warog Naruto, then obviously planetary versus what is Luffy? God, what is he? What is Luffy? What is Luffy as Gear
I would
5?
I would say so. The scale is kind of
I
weird
don't.
because it's like, okay, how many continents do you think exist in a planet? Like, how many continents would you say like make up the overall like mass of a planet? Because the reason and the reason why I
Seven.
bring this up
Fi-
is the
5 or 7.
five or seven is usually like how much Earth has, but I'm saying like how much would it take to like the entire how many sorry, how many continents would a planet have to consist of in terms of like actual landmass is what I mean, because Luffy should be stronger in Gear 4 than Don Chinjao and Don Sai, who can split a continent, right? So he should already be in that within that continental range of strength. He gets stronger in Whole Cake Island. We're not going to say by how much, but he does also get stronger by the time he fights Kaido. Now, under a lowballed assumption, by the way, Six, I did see the Luffy versus Lakers crossover. We'll play that in a bit. So in a comparison, when you do like, let's say just Luffy by the time of like not Whole Cake Island, rooftop fight, he should be way stronger than the Gear 4 version of Dressrosa. So even if you want to say on a low ball, he's just as strong as Gear 4 from Dressrosa, which I think is a massive low ball personally. That would mean that Luffy's already continental by the time in base, by the time of Wano rooftop. Again, on a massive low ball, he's definitely continental in base. Then you can stack Gear 4 on top of that. You can stack Gear 4 on top of that, which is a 30 times amp, again, on a low ball, since it's several times beyond second gear, which is 10 times amp. And then, so that would be already 30 times continental, and then if you stack Conqueror's Haki on it, Advanced Conqueror's Haki, which should be about as big of an amp as Conqueror's Haki, since he performed better than Kaido with Gear 4, that would be, again, stacking those two together. And this is before he has his rematch with Kaido, mind you. I'm not even counting, like, the rematch yet, which he should be even stronger by then. This would already be a 30 times whatever base you want to give Luffy. That's already 900 times continental. You know what I mean? It's a massive increase. You know what I mean? It's like a 900 times continental. I don't know how many continents you need to make up a planet, but I'd say 900 continents would probably be at least a planet. So even if you want to say Naruto is large not planetary, and Luffy is like small planetary, let's say we still want to downplay him, I think even just hitting him with, again, small planetary punches in Gear 4 Snake Man or Bounce Man with Advanced Conqueror's Haki, I think that's still gonna hurt Naruto enough. You know what I mean? It's like no matter how I personally look at it, Naruto isn't as impressive by a lot of metrics. Yes, the hexes are insane. Yes, I do believe with enough hits, Naruto can definitely take out Luffy if he lands those hits. My problem is, I don't think he can do it because of the speed and because of the future sight. It really just boils down to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like I try to give Naruto every bit benefit of doubt. It's still tough. You know what I mean? It's like for everything that you could say Naruto can do, Luffy essentially does have a counter for it. You know what I'm saying? It really does feel like it, in my opinion. Like a 10,000 shadow clones, cool. I'll just do a jet Gatling gun and just take them all out in one hit, since I can blow them up from the inside out. You know what I mean? It kind of boils down to that for me. But Julius, this was fun. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Not really, no, because I don't want to bore you to death anymore.
No, you're not. I wanted to have this conversation because if there's ever anything that like somebody has any questions on in terms of like in my opinion in a versus battle, I think I'm down to go through it.
Well, because I'm just reading the chat and you got people asking about moon level feats for Naruto, but it's like I specifically said War Arc Naruto.
Yeah.
If he knows. If he has any moon level feats, then sure, let's go for it. But as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have any as of the war arc, unless you want to say, he scales to Madara who affected the moon, then maybe. But
yeah,
yeah,
but it's more of
I
like a
mean,
reflection of the moon. I wouldn't even say like Madara like word for word did like manipulate or control the moon or any of that crap. You know what I mean?
do you have any other matches you want to talk about, or you want to go to the
Um,
crossover thing you
well, the
well,
crossover thing, I can put it up for a second. We can take a short break and then I can have Yule up. Thank you so much, Julius. I really do appreciate you, and I'm excited to see what you come up with, like with your scaling, man. I really am.
I don't know. Versus Battle Wiki, really quickly.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about it?
Basically, there is an original character version of that wiki where one of the characters, they're based off of a Hindu mythology,
Yeah.
which is what I do my research in.
Right,
It's
right, right.
pretty cool. It's
Really? Okay.
very over,
What's the name of the character
very,
again?
very cool. Um, we'll just call her Devi for this. With this Devi,
Devi.
Devi.
Yeah,
No,
Devi.
no, 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 no. It's not on there yet. I haven't done it. I haven't done it yet. No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no.
Got you.
I haven't done it yet.
Understood.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it.
No, you're fine.
I haven't done it.
All right, man. I appreciate you for coming. Yeah, thank you, man. Fun chat.
Shall I just go on mute? I'll go on mute.
You can go on mute. You can leave the debate thing if you want. Unless you want to come back later. I'm just sort of like having like a line for people to keep showing up.
Yeah. I do apologize if I couldn't get any good arguments in. I'm pretty rusty, quite rusty.
No, for sure. I think you did great. I think you had a bunch of good points to bring up. I just think that like in general, these are points that I've already had to like think about, because here's the thing. I may not try to like really go through it, at least with some of my more recent content, but I do think about every aspect of a fight that I can. I really do try to like think about like the fight as in depth as possible. Like, how would this interact with this X and Y? But me personally, I'm just like, I want to put out, in terms of like the content at least that I'm trying to put out, you know, there's only so much that I can talk about without starting to like replicate my points or whatever. So it's fun to like go through all this stuff. I thought about this fight enough. Like, I hope you can see that like I don't say that Luffy beats Naruto because I like One Piece more, the One Piece agenda, go red and all that bullshit. No, it's more like I've legitimately thought about everything Naruto can do, everything Luffy can do, and then just how these two would interact. So I'm glad I can. I'm glad I can at least, like give you a perspective on it, or if anything. Thanks, man.
Who's next in line, by the way, to debate you?
I think Yulburick is next, but when are you making Enies Lobby Zoro versus Chihiro? Oh, that is. I gotta go over that. Yeah. Whenever, you can just head off the debate thing whenever you want, and I think Yulburick should be next, unless I'm mistaken, or it might be Bob. But yeah, man, thank you so much.
Okay, cool.
Have a good one. Let's see. Let's peep this Luffy thing real quick.
Luffy just dunked on the Marines.
No, we're not doing that. Is it this one? We can watch this one just as I don't think I can get it demonetized. I don't want this.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Woo!
Yeah. I don't think we need the sound for it, but yeah. Luffy out here moving crazy. Oh, he just moved out of the fucking manga panel. That's crazy. Luffy actually ignoring the borders of the fucking manga panels is crazy. By the way, I saw a video specifically. Was this a Naruto versus Luffy debate? Just got back. Yeah, it kind of was. They were just discussing their stance on it. I was giving them sort of like just my take on it. We were just having a little bit of a back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It was fun though. I love how like Luffy just stops him with his fucking foot. Like that shit just feels like so Luffy to me. I'm sorry. Like he just runs through the manga panel. Like that shit is crazy. Like if this shit were canon, Luffy's actually just bypassing the borders of fucking reality and base. Luffy above Bleach? Question mark? Alright, I think that's enough. Luffy ballin'. Yeah, Ishitani is great animation. It's so clean. It's so fucking clean. Luffy is a baller, bro. Alright. Yulveric, Bob, whenever you guys are ready, you're more than welcome to join. Let me know. But yeah, that was interesting. Hey, what's up, Yul?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
How have you been, Yulbert? It's been a minute.
I was gonna say I have been really good. Been
Lovely. Love to
kicking
hear that.
butt and shit. So
Love to
enjoying
hear
that.
Love to hear that.
So
Sup. Okay, so what do we got? Oh, read the
I've
SBS. Let me pull that up real quick.
oh yeah, check
go
that
ahead.
out real quick. It's mint. I'll get the scans prepped for it real quick.
SBS volume. What is it? 111. I think I read something about it too.
Yeah.
No, it's not out yet. I don't think. Volume.
No, I think it's coming out.
I'll just wait until like it's fully out. But what do they say here? Time is right. I don't care about that. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, it was something about like Luffy turning the pages of the thing white. Listen, I wouldn't say that this is something we should use for power scaling. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but hey, listen, if you really need, I'm just saying this right now. If you
Remember, it's about the agenda, everybody.
Yeah. If you personally really need One Piece to be above any other series, then just say right off the bat, oh, Luffy can affect Oda's own paper. And then there you go. He's above the fucking author or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. So the first one I have is this wonderful thing of curses are a second form of light, ergo to react to them you need to be relativistic or faster than light.
Wait.
In JJK.
Wait. Repeat that?
Yeah, so I posted the scan as well.
Thank you.
They are a second form of light.
Exists. Wait. They exist within the wavelengths of visible light, but the brain cannot recognize them and cameras cannot capture them. They are forms of a second light. No.
Yes.
No.
Light speed. Yes.
What? JJK light speed?
Majority.
Nah, come on. Okay. No, let's try to break this down. Okay, they do say it's a form of second light, but does that mean it's as fast as light? Like, come on. Don't do this to me because I'm gonna have to remake that Sukuna video. Come on, I don't wanna do that.
Look. I'm saying that as like you need to be relativistic. You need to be able to react to light speed stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean some of the characters are light speed.
So
because you can be
Gojo
like, you can be
Crazy.
Gojo pre-time skips.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gojo as a teenager.
Yeah.
So as we know, there's the statement about a single sorcerer could power the country, right?
Yes, but do you think that's fallacious? Since
I don't believe it's fallacious because they were given an exhibition of. Now, I don't think it's like the average like grade 3 sorcerer personally,
right.
But what we saw was it was captured from Mekamaru's puppets.
Mekamaru's puppets, right. Wasn't he like a grade 2?
He was like a semi-grade 2. I think he was above Panda. He might have been a semi-grade 1 or something. The point is, though, in that the energy secretary straight up says we could get energy independence. So I decided to say, okay, how much energy did the U.S. produce
relative
in
to that,
in 2018? And here's that. Hold on just a moment. And then they say for a lifetime. And then I also Googled, how long is the average lifetime, which is about 72 years.
Right.
So I'll just post those in there.
All right. I'll be. Oh shit. Oh right. So let's see. Are you telling me to use my authority to abduct Japanese citizens? That is a crazy ass fucking line, by the way. That is a crazy fucking thing to say. One sorcerer could produce enough energy to last a whole lifetime. We're talking energy independence. Just one could solve multiple problems because their brains are wired differently. Sorcerers, they really said, sorcerers are just built different. Sorcerers defy modern science and technology. Are you sure Kenjaku's not just lying to these motherfuckers so that he can, get the whole thing to work? Because he really needed a large number of deaths for the calling games. I'm trying to, rationalize this for me. Okay. U.S. electricity generation increased 3.6% from 4,063 terawatt hours in 2017 to 4,209 terawatt hours in 2018. Okay. So that's how many joules per second. Okay. And a lifetime refers to the duration of a person's life, which on average is around 72 years based on current global life expectancy, though this can vary significantly depending on individual factors and locations.
Right.
Fuck! That's to the 17th, bro?
There's a slightly better one that I looked at again, and there's that piece, which is the terawatt hour into joules directly.
To the 19th degree. What the fuck?
Which also puts it to 10 to the 21st, which is, yeah, there you go.
So you're telling me the average
large
sorcerer,
island level.
Yeah, just the average sorcerer is already like large island level, and Sukuna, who scales massively above the strongest sorcerers.
Yeah.
Sukuna planetary question mark? Planetary?
Oh, dude.
Sukuna planetary?
Don't get me started. But and there's also the so we see here's also the scan of him saying this is the film that was captured with Mekamaru.
Right.
And we see it appears to be the Shinjuku incident.
Okay, so as I mentioned, curse spirits and curse techniques don't appear on camera or to the naked eye. What I'm about to show you are images filmed with technology that captured what was seen by a puppet being controlled by a sorcerer using a technique called puppet manipulation. Okay. And then that was like something out of a movie. Too bad it isn't IMAX. Hey, IMAX!
Yeah, so IMAX reference.
IMAX reference. Love to see it. Love to see it. Your
so yeah. So your average either grade 3 or grade 2, whatever they're saying the average was for the Shinjuku incident should be at least large island level, according to the energy secretary.
Right.
So,
right. Okay. Yeah, because they also showed images of Todo, Nanami, and Gojo.
There's
they're
also
like grade 1. So would you say that maybe it's like grade? Would you think like even on like another interpretation could be like grade 1s would be on around that like that island level?
That could be too, and I'd be perfectly like fine if that's like your just your grade 1 / semi grade 1s or whatever.
Right. Dude, that's crazy.
And that would actually be relatively accurate given we've seen the like island generation feat from Dagon.
Yes. Since Dagon was even anything above them, but he couldn't fully utilize his domain since Megumi was activating his at the same time, so he lost his sure hit. Right. Hey, IMAX, you're in the game. Yo, you got called. You're in JJK. IMAX canonically a character.
Yep.
Cool shit. All right, do you have any other takes? Man, my mind's blown. I might have to turn this into a mini video. I might have to turn this into like a mini video. I ain't gonna lie, man.
I do have a few more.
Sure.
There's ones more gaming related.
Sure.
I have bad news for everybody who loves Kratos. He got dunked on by Shovel Knight, and it's canon.
He got dunked on by. Wait, yeah, wasn't there an actual fucking
I put the scans in, yeah.
Yes, both Shovel Knight and God of War are considered canon to each other's lore. What the fuck? From what source?
From the fucking writers.
God of War director Cory Barlog has confirmed that Kratos' appearance in Shovel Knight is canon. Yacht Club Games also confirmed that God of War is canon in Shovel Knight lore. Santa Monica Studios has also said that Kratos met Shovel Knight while traveling from Greece to Scandinavia. So you're telling me that fucking Shovel Knight beats Asura? No! No!
Here's the... No. Wait. I've got it's even. Oh, Jesus Christ! Now it turns on. Fuck. So with Shovel Knight, right?
I'm crying.
It is actually mentioned like Kratos is like, yeah. In my travels, I met a very brave warrior. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
He kind of like taught me humility or something, which is implying that some unnamed warrior kicked his butt, which just further confirms the Shovel Knight fight is canon.
Shovel Knight just above God of War is crazy. That's so, and that, mind you, that's angry Kratos.
Yeah, that's angry Kratos.
That's
He taught angry post Zeus God of War 3 Kratos to sit down.
He really humbled the guy who has the power of conceptual hope. What the fuck? I love power
Yeah.
scaling, man. I love power scaling. It's so stupid. Dude, that's great. Thank you so much. You've given me a gift. You've given me so Shovel Knight. I'm about to make a video titled "Shovel Knight unironically one shots the fucking Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach versus." Oh,
Hold
man,
on,
that's
one
crazy.
minute. My AirPod died, so I literally lost.
You're fine. You're fine. Oh man, that is absolutely insane, dude. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So, so what exactly like
Okay, I guess I'm gonna just have to.
my mic keeps disconnecting. Unfortunate. It's fine.
Yeah.
So wait, which game exactly did they fight in? Which Shovel Knight game?
It was. I'd have to double check which Shovel Knight game it was.
Let me
One
look it
moment.
up. Yeah, no worries. I can pull it up if anything. Let me just type.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What Shovel Knight and Kratos appear? Oh, Shovel of Hope. So Shovel Knight is canonically even above like Hermes and all these other characters. Damn.
Yeah.
That is
So,
so stupid. That is so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Yeah, no, they gotta make some Shovel Knight. Did they ever make like a Shovel Knight death battle?
I can't remember if they did or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and then didn't
Let me just
bring it up at all.
Yeah, let me just look that up real quick. Debilitating is crazy. Might be a Logia. What are they saying? Autocorrect. What the fuck? Let's just put this real quick. Shovel Knight solos your favorite verse? Question mark. Oh man, gotta love that stuff, man. You gotta love scaling sometimes. It's like how ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
stuff
you get some of the. Oh yeah, I love this. This is like the whole reason I get into scaling, because it's just you get these weird, dumb, nuanced answers, and you're sitting there wondering how did I get here?
Well, they had Shovel Knight fight Scrooge McDuck, so I suppose that's fair. But it was from like 8 years ago. When did Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope come out? Because the Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope release date, yeah, 2025. Wait, not DX. Let's just look up regular Shovel of Hope. 2014. So it actually came out. So wait, it actually came out prior to it.
Before. Yeah. So just another case of Death Battle getting their stuff wrong.
I don't see them mentioning Kratos at all, and Scrooge McDuck did beat Shovel Knight, so
yeah.
Sure, I guess. Sure. I mean, hey, we all have bad takes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what else you got, man.
Let's see. That's actually pretty much it.
Lovely.
Yeah, I just figured I'd come in with, some rancid, horrid Jujutsu Kaisen takes for you, and sorry, I'm also looking at the screen on my the stream on my computer screen, and my brain's blanking.
Yeah, no.
And the Kratos stuff, because I figured it would be semi-topical and all. Before I leave, I did just want to say I appreciate hanging out with you and getting to be part of this community, because y'all are a lot of fun. And just for everyone out there, don't forget about eating your invisible food.
Fuck you! No, stop! Don't push the agenda. What the fuck? Oh, get out of here! Get out! God damn it. Stop bringing up the invisible food. It's not real. You guys, it's just schizophrenia. It's just mental illness. Nobody there actually smelled any food. They were all just afraid of fucking Yujiro Hanma getting angry if they didn't bro, no, fuck you guys. You're all wrong. It makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. They were all sitting there at the masterpiece of his abilities to cook. He wasn't cooking anything. There was no knife in his hand, bro. What the fuck? God. It just doesn't. It doesn't slap. What do you mean? It doesn't taste like anything. Just take a bite out of the air right now. That's exactly what it tastes like. Fuck. God damn. All right, what's this about? Okay, my little Oda. I want to know how Kid managed to steal Big Mom's poneglyph. I'll send you lots of kisses. Oh, you're mistaken. Japanese is so cute. You're writing from France, huh? I'll send you kisses too. Now, getting straight to the point, he attacked one of Big Mom's warships, defeated the officer, Commander Snack on board. He got the copy of the road poneglyph in exchange for a spearing Snack. That's it. Also said that Kid ran away when he saw Big Mom, but in reality, his goal was simply to steal the poneglyph. Alright, so Kid isn't pussy. In volume 109's SBS, it was revealed that Hanafuda exists. Is he the father of Ulti in page 1? Huh, You're talking about that guy, the former warlord of the sea who got taken down by Ace. I thought I hit it really well, whatever. Yes, he is, lol. But what you really meant to ask is the relationship between Hanafuda and Kaido, right? As pirates, they have clashed in the past, but ultimately formed an alliance due to their common goal. He has such faith in Kaido that he would entrust his own children to him. His hobby of collecting Zoan fruits is to help strengthen the beast pirates too. Hanafuda is one of the many who was captivated by Kaido's strength and gave their all to help him ascend to the throne of Pirate King. After being defeated by Ace and being banished from the warlords, he was killed by pirates who made a grudge against him while on his way to his children. Damn, so Hanafuda got clipped. Odachi, can you show us the miracle combination after 20 years? How would it look like? Will it turn out to be Super Gargon 3? PN 420 land? Let's do this. What? It's awakened? The warrior of liberation Nuke. Luffy, Nika. Okay. Chopper. Nami, Robin, Sanji. Wait, is that fucking Sanji's eyebrow just curling off at the end? Jinbei, Usopp, Brook. What the is this the strongest One Piece character? What, this is like just a combination of all the Straw Hats. I guess that's what they'd look like if they'd all fuse like post time skip. Sure. He got smoked on his way to see his kids is crazy. That's what I'm saying, man. I want to know Arlong's reaction when he found out that Jinbei joined the Straw Hats. Here you go. I didn't know the context of this fucking photo. That's mad funny. Damn, he's like, wow, you really joined the crew of the guy who beat my ass. That is absolutely crazy. Oda Sensei, hello. I just picked up this letter. Since I picked it up, I guess we can start the SBS. Yay. Okay, then. SBS is starting. Cool. Odachi, recently dirty jokes are kind of popular among boys. Most of them are One Piece readers. Is One Piece actually the cause of it? Yeah, let's sue. That's crazy. Oda's like, yes, blame me. I want to be the reason why all of these children like dirty jokes. I blame the French-Taiwanese relations? What the fuck, Michael? Oda Sensei, if you can eat 2 devil fruits, which one would you eat? I'd want to have the clear fruit and the rumble fruit. I wonder if Oda Sensei would pick them too. I can have 2 clear fruit, absolutely. And which one? Clear fruit, absolutely. Clear fruit, absolutely. And warp fruit. Objective decision. It's so I can save people. Nominal reasons. You know what? Oda made a 100% correct choice. The warp fruit and the clear fruit is a crazy fucking combo. I'm just saying that is the objective decision by the fucking author themselves. You heard it here first, folks. If there's ever any 2 devil fruits you want to pick, those are that is the correct fucking choice. I'm just saying I picked it too though. Oh, hey, listen. If Oda's a gooner, he's just like me for real. God, I just called myself a gooner in a live stream full of people. God damn. Sudden realization. You know, like when you just immediately just You know that like that feeling where you just like immediately regret saying something out loud? Fuck. I don't see vertical speech bubbles very often in One Piece. Longer sentences are broken into multiple lines or bubbles. Why is that? Oh, you noticed that, huh? I'm kind of nervous now, though. I think back to the early parts of the series, I did use vertical speech bubbles. Then one day I saw that in the overseas editions, the horizontal-oriented English texts were jam-packed into narrow bubbles. Since a lot of the localizations use horizontal-oriented text, I made the bubbles that way to make it easy to read no matter what language it's translated into. This is not a space for gooners. This isn't a space for gooners. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. I have an idea for your new nickname, Odachi. Odapoyo. Sounds cute, right? Please use it. Okay, thanks. I'm such an old man, huh? Shaka said that when Zoan Devil Fruit users awaken their abilities, it often leads to their nature being completely taken over. So the Jailer Beast and Impel Down were also originally human who got taken over by their fruits? Yes, Lucci, you're at risk. Yeah, it's crazy if you turn into something like this. Oh, God. If Luffy had 6 satellites like Vegapunk, how will they look? No way, damn it. York, Atlas. So it's just all greed and violence? What's up, Easy Evil? So Luffy's confirmed the allegations he clogged the pipe. I did not clog the pipes! It doesn't confirm goddamn anything. Fuck you. I didn't... See, this is why I want to say shit. What do you need the clear fruit for? Because you want to be invisible. Tell me why. First of all, tell me why you wouldn't want to be invisible. You get to just, like, escape so many situations, right? Like school and, work and, when your significant other is angry because you left the toilet seat up or down, depending on who they are. There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why you'd want the clear fruit. You could even use it to eat invisible food. God damn it! Alright. Anyway, yeah, Luffy's devil fruits, Luffy's satellites being all just greed and fucking violence. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect fucking sense. A gooner like Eon being invisible is a war crime waiting to happen. It wouldn't be a fucking war crime. What satellite would Diddy have? A pretty fucking wild one, I'd say. Hey, Bob, you ready? Just let me finish these off, and then we can start up with your hot takes. Good morning, right. Oda-sensei. How does Shanks roll up his sleeves when he's missing one arm? What? You're focusing on that? That's true, but don't worry. That shirt just looks like that. There are many kinds of shirts, right? Short sleeve, long sleeve, rolled up sleeve. There you go. It's just a shirt with rolled sleeves. Have you ever seen him with unrolled sleeves? Huh? I mean, he makes a good point. I'm just saying, guys. He makes a very good point. Why wouldn't you let me get any powers? I'm just saying, you can do a lot with it. Odachi, hello. In chapter 987, was the bridge that Roger Pirates and Odin saw Tequila Wolf or Bourbon Wolf? And what is the name of the planet that Luffy and the others are adventuring in? What? You're focusing on that? The planet is called Blue Planet. And the bridge that Odin saw, it's not Tequila Wolf. How did you know that? I won't say it's Bourbon Wolf, but it's not Tequila Wolf. That's my answer. We find out there are 4 bridges, chapter 1125, so there's no way you could know that in chapter 967. But look back, why did I think so? Amazing. Hello, Oda. What happens to man-made devil fruits when the user dies? It becomes a fruit again, right? Nope, it disappears. I could see that. Is there a name for the Celestial Dragon's hairstyle that looks like a banana? You call it a banana? That's a surprise to me, haha. Well, there doesn't seem to be an official name for it. We don't really talk about it, haha. So the Celestial Dragon's hairstyle is called Noble Opener. Since it looks like a wine opener, it's easy to remember. Did you all open it? That's crazy. Oda-sensei, hello. In my previous school, I did Sanji's Diablo Jamba while spinning around, and then all my friends started ignoring me. What did I do wrong? That's the society we live in. That's what I'm saying, man. We live in a society where, like, people just don't care for, like, this kind of cool shit. Do your Diablo Jamba, guys. Ignore your friends if they tell you it's cringe. My mother said that anime is for kids, and my friend doesn't really read manga. But after seeing the live action, they started reading the manga and got hooked on it, so I'm happy. Oda-sensei, you're really different from the average person. What devil fruit did you eat that you can also be involved in the live action while still drawing the manga? Alright, this is a super happy postcard. PNXK-chan is from overseas, but here we are. Your mother said anime is for kids. Did she? It's more common that in foreign countries the adults generally don't seem to read manga or watch anime. In Japan, it used to be like that too. It would be amazing if there was a universal manga where anyone can enjoy manga series regardless of age. It really motivates me. You're making that shit up, bruh. True. Oda actually creating that universal manga himself. When Jinbei brushes his teeth, does he use a regular toothbrush? Wouldn't it be too hard to do it with a normal toothbrush? Jinbei brushes his teeth with a scrubbing brush. But he only carefully brushes the big fangs. Once a week, he sheds the other teeth with a whoosh. Since he's a shark, his teeth grow back easily. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool little take. Yeah, Oda flexing just a tad bit. Humble brag. Gear 5 Gomu Gomu Dawn paper. Ooh, stop. Everything's turning white. The paper's turning blank. Okay, the SBS ends here. See the next volume. Ooh, it's blank. Yeah. All right. So, casual Luffy affecting Oda's own paper, confirmed. Luffy above every other verse, confirmed. He's affecting the very author, the very nature of the context of the world that he lives in. Cool shit. Luffy is outerversal, confirmed. One Piece characters are outerversal, they affect concepts. You already know that. Thank you all so much for coming. Bob, where are we going? Where are we going with this? What do we have? Nice to talk to you.
I have been summoned. Yes, it's nice to talk to you too, man. So I got I was gonna whip out the whole Gear 5 outerversal stuff, but you already did that. So I got 2 hot takes and a potential cold take that you might want to consider and stuff. Potentially even for the whole crocodile Gara shit. But
for sure.
We'll get to that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So first one is Usopp soloing JJK, including Gojo.
Usopp solos JJK. All right. I mean, I don't think I would entirely disagree with that.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's the big one with Infinity, right?
Yeah.
So as we know, Gojo has to I guess assign something as a attack or offensive to him in some capacity to get Infinity to protect him from that shit, right? He's always had problems with poison, or he had problems with poison and gas and stuff, right? So here's the thing. Usopp has a speed advantage, a massive speed advantage over pretty much any JJK character, right?
Right.
And while his attacks fucking was it Skull Green Blast, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. I'm
gonna
hit his moveset real quick, just so everyone else can see it as well.
He does have missed canonically. Okay, you cut out there for a second.
Yeah, I cut out entirely. Can you go back to when you started? He does. That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He does have Diddy missed.
He has what? I heard Diddy missed.
Yes, Diddy missed. He can knock people out with sleeping gas. Use it on kids, giant kids, and punk cats. Yes.
Don't say Diddy missed though. What the
Think
fuck?
about it.
Okay. Sure, I'm gonna try.
Not only would the attack be so too fast for Gojo to even perceive, the composition of the gas will be completely alien to him because it's from a pop green.
Sure.
So he wouldn't even be able to even understand what the fuck's going on. Before anything happens, he'll be laid out.
I suppose. I suppose. Yeah, I can't really deny that. Sure.
And here's the thing: if Usopp puts in enough Diddy mist, he'll just die because relaxation.
Okay. Do you know if Gojo's Infinity? Okay. 1 second. Do you know if Gojo's Infinity is active even while he's asleep? Let me go pick up my friend real quick. He's downstairs.
I think it is. It might, but I'm just saying the first attack because it'll be how relaxants loosen up your muscles or whatever, and if you take many.
You're saying the brain is a muscle, therefore it relaxes the brain, therefore the ability Infinity will stop. Therefore, okay. Let me go pick up my friend. I'll keep you a
I love agenda.
Hello.
Yellow.
By the way, I've got pancakes if you want them.
I'll take some blueberry. If you got any.
Oh, God.
Alright, Diddy Mist is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
why call it Diddy Mist though?
Why not?
Alright, let's finish this up. Oh no. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue this.
Okay. So yeah, Diddy Miss solos. Gojo can't do nothing.
Diddy Miss solos is crazy, man. Diddy, like, I'm just still on, like, why? Okay, sure. Let's just go.
Okay. All right. Now moving on for that hot take.
Okay.
And my next one probably gonna be even crazier.
Sure.
Naruto slams any version of Goku. Period.
Naruto slams any version of Goku. All right, I need to hear this one. Explain.
All right. So obviously we all know that Kaguya is like multiversal, right? She made like a bunch of dimensions. She was gonna destroy it with her giant ass TSO orb, right? All that.
Yeah, Kaguya blow up the whole dimension. Yeah.
And as we know, the universe is infinite, or at least infinitely growing, right?
Right.
And as we know, the Rinnegan is kind of very important to the Otsutsuki, right? We even know that
For sure.
What's his name? The fucking other dude in the second movie.
Toneri?
Yeah, or whatever the fuck. No, not that one. The Momosuke. Yeah.
Momoshiki. Yeah.
Yeah, Momosuke. Yeah. Even he used that, amp himself, all that crazy shit. Right? And as we know, Nagato, the Pain, they all have Rinnegan.
Sure.
And as we all know, infinity divided by infinity is still infinity.
Okay.
Right? So each Pain should have universal AP. Now remember.
Oh sure.
Now,
let me go. Yeah, keep going.
Let me cook.
Yeah.
All right. And now, the real kicker is that you remember Konohamaru?
Yes. No.
Yes.
Konohamaru.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Basic ass for Rasengan one shot at a universal, multiversal fucking character.
I mean, Aster's right. Pain does have universal pull. It is a universal attack. It pulls everything in the universe in. Sure, I guess.
Multiversal, actually.
Multiversal, sure. W take.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me put this in the chat. Let's see what chat has to think. Everyone seems to agree, man. It might not even be a hot take. Is this the cold take you were talking about? Naruto beats.
No.
What the fuck is a cold take? Every version of Goku. Let's see what chat thinks.
Yeah.
Universal Konohamaru meta is crazy.
Yes.
There's no flaw in that logic. I mean, yeah, no, he has the Rinnegan. All Rinnegan users share the same abilities. They created a universe. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Konohamaru took down a conceptual being. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
kind of cooking. I can't disagree with that logic. You know what? I love this.
All right. Let me go grab my scans because this one's more serious.
For sure. Take your time, man.
All right.
Michael, do you have any hot takes? Michael? I don't see him. You have any hot takes you want to give to chat while you're here? Well, Bob here pulls up his.
No, not really.
You don't have any hot takes?
No.
Do you have anything you want to talk about Naruto since you've been watching it?
I mean, I've been really liking Naruto.
You've been really liking Naruto?
Yeah, like literally from Go, I've really been liking.
It's
Naruto.
a good series, yeah.
Oh, I've been enjoying the.
What did you think about Sakura?
Probably the less said, the better.
The less said, the better. Sure, buddy. Sure. Oh, we've got some Sea Kings. Sure. So what about them?
Yeah. All right. So where do you put pre-time skip Straw Hats?
In terms of what? AP power overall?
AP. Yeah, like power rank.
Probably. I would say Luffy might be like around like mountain level, maybe.
All right. What if I told you pre-time skip characters,
Yeah.
like as early as Alabasta,
Okay.
might be like continental to maybe multi-continental.
Oh, multi-continental to continental. That's
Hear
crazy.
me out. Hear me out.
Sure.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah,
This is like, yeah, this is more of a serious take. This isn't too agenda.
No, yeah.
Slightly right. Okay. So as we know, Sea Kings don't have like an in-universe like scale. Like there's no like necessarily higher tier Sea Kings.
Right.
There's just Sea Kings, right? And
Right.
these are and these are specifically Sea Kings like in the Calm Belt. And as we know, you I think what did I put them? Yeah, in the next scan you see like one of these Sea Kings, the fucking bird one.
Yes.
And the zebra one. These are the same big ass ones from Fishman Island, which were
Yes,
like as big
100%
as
right.
yeah, like almost as big as the island itself, which as we know, islands at least at bare minimum in One Piece are about continental in size or something like that, right?
Right.
Something like that. And the thing is that as early as Alabasta, we encounter banana gators, which can fucking eat Sea Kings. I didn't post scans for those. I gotta get those. And they just fucking mollywop them, right? Even like a weakened Luffy demolishes them effortlessly. Crocodile keeps them as pets. They're pretty fodder.
Right.
Even and if you go in like the next scans, even fucking T-Bone, Captain T-Bone, not even Vice Admiral, was able to like cut a Sea King in half. Granted, not that big,
Yeah,
but
in
still,
comparison, it's still a Sea King.
Yeah. And then we have in Little Garden, you go to the next two scans.
Right.
We have
they killed some
was it
giant
Dory?
Sea Kings. Yeah, when they killed the giant Sea Kings that were the size of those fucking islands.
Yeah. Mind you, Dory lifted that motherfucker up after he had like an explosion in his gut. So he's like very weakened, and he still pulled that shit off. And mind you, after the Fibrogi, who, regardless of how tired he was, there's no way he's as weak as Dory, got completely restrained by Mr. 3.
Yes.
So that's pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, Mr. 3 would have insane scaling because of that. True.
Yeah. And like even if you're a bit iffy with like, as I said, like the banana gators and crocodile necessarily scaling to them, like the bigger Sea Kings, you can still fall back on Mr. 3, who crocodile would still scale above.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
massively.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm understanding this. So the Sea Kings essentially are larger than many islands, or if anything, they're at least strong enough to, like, let's say, take down islands if they really wanted to. These Sea Kings these Sea Kings, at least like the smaller ones, can be taken out by captain level Marines, or at least even if you want to say that like Captain T-Bone's on the stronger end of him. Someone like him is still fodder compared to someone like Zoro. By Enies Lobby. By the time of Little Garden, what's his face, Dory can lift up the remaining skeleton of a creature as essentially, let's say like 1/3 the size of the island, and he has an explosion that recently happened, and he can be restrained by someone like Mr. 3, who scales below most of the Straw Hats at this point. Okay.
Exactly. And even Vice Admirals, which as we know are completely fodder. The fucking Mohawk dude in Amazon Lily, he killed a Sea King and Calm Belt. He was able to defend his crew and stuff like that. Pretty crazy. So there's still a lot of line of scaling that you can easily upscale pre-time skip Straw Hats to. There's also the blue Gora and Impel Down, which literally killed a Sea King. And of course, the last scan, we got Oars, the boy. Continent Puller, literally made Wano, and as we know, all those Straw Hats jumped his ass, did some damage to him.
They kind of did take him out for the most part. He only couldn't, his body didn't feel the pain, but it was still affecting him, which means they were dealing damage.
Like Luffy literally shattered Ro's spine.
That's insane. One Piece scaling
Yeah.
is really fucking crazy when you really think about it. And
Yeah.
also, it would actually kind of make sense with characters like Don Chinjiao and Don Sai, who, sure,
Mm.
they're like
Yeah.
around the mid tiers by the point of like post time skip. But the thing about them is that they're not necessarily like overpowered characters by any means. And one could even argue that like their scaling might still be even like as like powerful humans, their scaling would still be somewhat consistent with characters like Ors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. I think and I mean I'm not like trying to be mean or like we focus a lot on like speed
Yeah.
aspect of it because like it's very blatant, right? You
Yeah.
got like a lot of
Line
but
speed
I
feats
do
and stuff,
think
yeah.
we should take this in consideration
Oh,
for like
100%.
AP stuff. Yeah.
No,
There's
100%.
also
You're giving me a lot to think
yeah,
about.
yeah. There's also Laboon, right? Whiskey
Yes.
Peak. Yeah, and
Yes.
I don't know how big he is per se. He's like
Well,
if
he
you
can
go
hold a
to like the
small island inside of his own body, at least enough to house like a single
oh yeah
human. So no, yeah,
oh
Laboon
yeah
and the inside of Laboon, whether it's constructed artificially or not, can still house like its own sky.
yeah yeah he's pretty fucking ginormous, and Luffy was like throwing hands with him.
Yeah,
So
Luffy was. Holy fuck. You know, and island worlds are just
yeah
constantly bashing themselves against the red line, and it's not even like budging it.
yeah. So
Oh man, dude,
hey,
I appreciate this.
awesome,
There's
man.
definitely a lot more I can add for the scaling of the story. Thank you so much. This is really interesting.
No
This
problem,
is what I
man.
love about One Piece. There's just so much you can still find within the series that you can still try to like quantify. It's insane.
Yeah,
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
no problem. Hey, I'm here to bring the agenda and you know push the agenda, all that good stuff.
For real, for real. Agenda piece is real.
That's
All
what I'm saying.
right. Everybody, thank you so much, Bob. Thank you so much, everybody that joined me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you for joining me, for spending the time today. It's been a couple of fun hours that we've had. I really enjoyed the laps. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful weekend, guys. I'm gonna be heading out now, but we can definitely do more of these, at least like once a month. I feel like it'd be fun to like pull these out once a month. It also I feel like would bring up more reasons for people who want to join in the Discord. Bring the bragging rights to agenda piece. Yeah, the bragging rights would be funny. I'll actually look into like cutting up this into an actual video to have up for the Diddy misscaling one. Listen, I'm not trying to do the Diddy misscaling. I'll at least call it something else, all right? But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everybody.
No problem.
Oh, Laboonus 100
Peace.
meters. Thank you, Jeff, for the $2. I really appreciate you for that. All
I
right.
think he's 400 actually.
400 meters? Yeah, 400 meters.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. I'm
Hey.
gonna head out. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Stop that. Yeah, let's just end it here. Usopp versus Sukuna video when I'm not gonna make a. I don't know if I could do that to my king. I can't hit him that big of an L, man. See you guys.